All right, we're going. We're like froze or some shit.
Yeah, Cody froze for me.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay.
I can hear
Yeah,
you, but
you're froze.
Shit. We're not live though. The intro hasn't started.
Yeah, we are. We are live. We are live. I got it pulled up.
Dude, it didn't even play the intro or not. Well, damn. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All. Streamyard is acting a bit weird, but we will figure it out on the fly. We appreciate each and every single one of you for being a part of the longest running Panther podcast on the internet. If you would like to be a part of the show, you may join via StreamYard. I pinned the link to the top of the YouTube and Facebook chat. You know I am joined by the faithful members of the C3 Legion. Panther Pickle, welcome back to the Free For All. How the hell are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great time to be a Carolina Panther. You know that? We snapping to it. We ripping off Falcons' heads and turning Tampa Bay Buck fans upside down and inside down. And Saints, well, let's just say when we flush the toilet, that's the first thing we see is what we flush down the toilet. Yeah, that's all we think of the Saints. Some of the rookies are being signed. And to answer a question here that was in the chat, it's not, I don't think it's a big number, but remember we haven't had a top 10 rookie in a while at a different position other than quarterback. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Next up, we have my brother, the brand ambassador. And we were all just saying before the show, we feel like it's going to be a great one today. You know we're going to do it with the brand ambassador. These ill skills. What's up, brother?
Man, you are, Cody, in the C3 Panthers Podcast. That's what's up. Great show on Tuesday night. You know, CK got on the mic. He got his monologue to kind of start off, and he's like, it's just that time of year. You know, there's not a lot of news going on. And he was right. You know, Monday and Tuesday, there was not a peep to really talk about except upcoming rookie Panthers training camp. But now, boy, all heck just broke loose. Jadeveon Clowney, we're going to get into that news about him being released. There's lots of angles there to talk about that. We talked about that last night in the C3 Legion spaces. And then also as well, you know, we get to talk about seeing these rookies in Panthers blue and black for the first time, man. It's really exciting. The first time you see these guys, you got used to seeing them in the Arizona uniform or the Ohio State uniform or whatever college they were with. And you've watched all their clips from that. But to see them in that Carolina blue just does something to you, man. Back out there on the field. Getting active, getting things going for this Panthers team, and there's nothing but excitement right now about this offense. I mean, just like me and you talked about earlier, the more and more I think about it, the fact that we spent the number 8 pick overall in the NFL draft on the best wide receiver that the Carolina Panthers could get, 6'5", maybe 6'4", some say that, but it doesn't matter. A wide receiver that big with that many yards, that many catches in his college career, I am nothing but elated for this upcoming Panthers season. I was telling my brother Cole, I said, it's not going to be too bad on Sunday if the Panthers score 40 and we still go home with the L. I'm going to be really happy. It's all good for me, Cody. I'm fired up for this Friday free-for-all. Let's roll.
Let's roll, man. Thinking about T-Mac, Nalo, and Jimmy Horn and what they have the potential to do in this offense. Man, it's enough to give you goosebumps, brother. You know I wouldn't want to do this show without my man, Jake the Snake. Welcome back on the Free For All, brother. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Get to spend another Friday with you boys. We watched a little bit of videos today on rookie minicamp. I'm glad to finally see them in a Panther uniform doing some drills and stuff. That really excites me. And man, I'm just ready to go through this Friday free for all with y'all.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. And remember, if you would like to be a part of the discussion, join via the link I have pinned to the top of the YouTube and Facebook chat. Boys, before we jump into the new players, let's talk about some of the older players that are out the door. We speculated on this for a while that it might happen. He might even be traded. But Jadeveon Clowney has been cut from
No.
the Carolina Panthers.
Goodbye.
Boys, he had 5.5 sacks last year. We think there are a lot more important ways that we can use the $7.8 million that we were able to free up in cutting him. But there are a lot of people that are upset about this. Namely, it seems Jadeveon himself. We'll jump into that. But, boys, what do you feel about Jadeveon Clowney no longer being a Panther? How do you feel that affects our pass rush and ability to stop the run? And what do you think that says about their confidence in the young players that we just drafted? Boys, it's a free-for-all. Damn it, jump on it.
All right, I'll jump on. I think it's going to help our pass rush, actually. He was never a pass rusher. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? That's what I wanted to say yesterday on Twitter, and I didn't. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? And I mean exactly that. Let's cut the bullshit. Patrick Jones last year had 7 picks and 7 sacks and 2 forced fumble. Jadeveon Clowney had 5.5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney actually tied. Yeah, y'all heard that right. He tied A'Shawn Robinson with the same amount of sacks. Okay? So let's stop saying Jadeveon Clowney was a solid veteran and a key piece. Okay, he was a nice guy, sure. But you know what? He really wasn't that good of a veteran leadership. Why? Because he never did it before. Okay? Shout out to Joe Person, who in his Athletic wrote a report that said that Dan Morgan asked Clowney before they released him about taking a pay cut and staying. Clowney said, no. Fine, you're out. And if Clowney would complain because he showed up for OTAs and they could have told him, oh, come on, y'all. Come on, dude. Get your corn up out of your ass and smell the coffee. You know your ass was gone anyway.
I really do feel after the draft, the writing was on the wall. And we had already heard there were rumors that they were shopping him around during the draft. Deez, what say you, man? I know for most of the week, it seemed like most fans were in favor of keeping him around. If anything, just to be the veteran presence to the younger guys. But how much of this is business? Or how much of this is, do you think Dan Morgan has other plans for that $7.8 million?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. We could be eyeballing a guy like Blackman or somebody come in the secondary and help, or even a cornerback. I mean, those are still needs for this team. We can't really afford injury at the cornerback position as it sits right now. I mean, you talk about a mess. We would be in a hot mess. There's nobody back there. And we went over this in detail on the Friday free-for-all, which is what's kind of cool because you wrapped the show around this topic and then, boom, big news broke this week and shocked Panthers fans because on that free-for-all, this was like an 80-20 issue, chat included. Everybody said he's a great mentor. We want him here to lead this team going forward in the same kind of role as Adam Thielen in that way. Well, that's not how things panned out. That, you know, it's what you put on tape is who you are. And what they put on tape last year was not good. And the Panthers went to him and they asked him to take a little pay cut or maybe a big pay cut. I don't really know. And the fact of the matter was he wasn't willing to do that. The Panthers were willing to part ways because they needed that money for something else, as you're alluding to. And, you know, for me, I was one of those people saying keep him as a mentor. So the news definitely shocked me and surprised me. I'm moving on. It's fine. We got a second rounder and a third rounder at the same position. So I get it. But the timing of it is what I guess I really didn't like, Cody, because it wasn't a post June 1st cut, which makes more sense, right? Because don't you save more money in that scenario? And also it wasn't earlier in the offseason where the guy could have more or less hand selected where he wanted to go next. And why they did it in that in-between period is what I don't understand. Why was now the time? It's like we didn't have time to get to that conversation about his contract when all the rest of free agents were being picked up in the NFL. We waited until now to have that conversation with Clowney. So in that regard, I'll take Clowney's side on this because I enjoyed all the hometown feel-good stuff we saw last season that the Panthers put out about Jadeveon. But other than that, I just think it was bad tape. You know, you can go back and look at it. It's like week 18 is a prime example. I saw that on Twitter. Just not really being a $10 million guy, and he just wasn't. So.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely wasn't. And to tell, as you alluded to tell Jadeveon's side of the story, he said, I went to OTAs day one, and they kind of told me they weren't expecting me to be there. I got a sense then that they wanted me out of the building. He said, I was just like, y'all could have told me this back when I was coming in here during the off season. I kind of had a sense, though. I've been around the game a long time, so I was okay. Morgan reached out to several teams before the draft to gauge interest in Clowney, then unsuccessfully shopped him again following the draft. Clowney said Morgan offered him a chance to stay if he agreed to take a pay cut, but he declined. Releasing Clowney creates $7.8 million in salary cap space for the Panthers with $6 million in dead money. That gives the Panthers a little more financial flexibility if they want to pursue a veteran safety or address depth at another position. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. The two sides were on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how much Clowney would be worth for this year. And honestly, because of the draft, they feel comfortable moving on from him. Let me go to Jake. Jake, what's up, brother? Tell me how you feel about Clowney no longer being a part of this pass rush rotation.
Well, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I'm kind of with these. I kind of figured like he would have been a great mentor for our rookies that we got. I mean, I know a lot of people say, well, he wasn't going to teach them his moves and stuff, but the way I feel about it is he didn't necessarily have to teach them. They could have just watched him to go through his, his drills and stuff, and the way he approaches his workouts and stuff like that. I think that would have been good. But at the same time, I do realize that, I don't think Dave Canales and Dan Morgan really expected to get both them guys in the draft. I don't think they expected to get Nick Scourton and Princely. But that's what happened. And ultimately, I think that had a lot to do with them moving on from Clowney.
Yeah. No, I think so, too. I think there was a lot of different issues that sort of led up to this. Some people on Twitter hate this because they felt like he would have been the perfect mentor to Nick Scourton and Princely Umanmielen. But then some people said, dude, he just wasn't, for the amount of money that he was being paid, it just wasn't worth it. And personally, I'm of the mindset that DJ Wonnum was more disruptive last year when he came back. I think we have to also factor Patrick Jones, who we picked up in free agency, into this equation. I think we're a little bit deeper than we've been given credit for. Michael Wydrick, back on the free-for-all. Michael, what's up, brother? How are you? And how do you feel about losing Jadeveon Clowney, bro?
It's good to be back on the Friday free-for-all with you boys. I know I've been gone for a while, but I just got some family issues to take care of. But it'll be all good because I'm back on here with you guys and enjoying talking Panthers football. Now, the topic of discussion that we're talking about is Jadeveon Clowney. Now, yes, I will agree to some point. He could have been a mentor to some of these players that we have coming in, because now that he's gone, who's really going to mentor him? Like what was the, honestly, in my opinion, I know I love this guy because he came from the school that I was hoping that he would be a big production, which is DJ Johnson. But I mean, come on, like, why would you sit there and have some? And I mean, I even looked at Pickle's video on Twitter this morning talking about how the reason why that they said that Clowney was being released because potentially they were trying to give DJ Johnson some snaps. Well, mind you, if that doesn't work out, you just wasted a pick on somebody who can't be productive.
Well, I didn't really say that they were giving DJ Johnson. There's a collection of players there. For example,
okay.
Let me put it to example. Right now, if you count Patrick Jones, who had last year had more sacks than Clowney did and played better, and he played right next to DJ Wonnum, or actually behind DJ Wonnum in Minnesota. So there's already that connection there. Now, he also, if you take them two and then you line up the 2 rookies behind him.
Right.
The reality is they're only going to keep maybe 5 outside linebackers, correct? Roughly
Yeah.
5.
Probably around that
Again,
number.
so if that's all you're keeping, you already have the 4 that you can't get rid
Right.
of.
Okay.
Does Clowney
Okay.
would Clowney agree to be the 5th edge rusher? No,
Right.
because he thinks he's too good for that.
Do y'all
Okay.
think that we did
Being
him?
a 5th guy for a special teamer, he's not known for playing a lot of special team snaps. Mario Barno is.
Okay. Okay.
So
Let
in
me ask y'all
reality,
this. Let me ask this
he
to
doesn't
everyone.
fit there.
Did we do wrong by Jadeveon Clowney by not doing this with him earlier? And
No.
while there was a more robust market at outside linebacker.
No, that's the NFL. A lot of people said it was a cop out
It's
with Cam
cutthroat.
Newton excuse.
Yeah, it's
And
cutthroat.
this is the NFL. You know what you're getting into. Listen. If reality, he got $10 million. He's going to get a bunch of more money left from the Panthers anyway. I'm not
Right.
crying for him, and I'm not going to feel sorry for him. Okay, and reality is, shout out to Sideshow. He just said it. Clowney's not the mentoring type, guys. There's a reason why
Okay.
David Gettleman got rid of Steve Smith when he did. We needed a
Yeah.
mentor at wide receiver. Steve Smith
Right.
was never a mentor at wide receiver. He just wasn't. That's not his forte. That's not his
I get that.
thing. He just can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why DJ Wanham is, or not Wanham,
Clowney.
Clowney. Clowney's
Clowney,
not the
yeah.
guy to mentor folks. And it's no disrespect to him. That's just not his forte. And
Okay.
that's just how it is. And I know some people are going to say, well, you did him wrong. You should. No. Jadeveon Clowney got paid a nice paycheck. And every single year, he demands at least $10 million from a team to sign him. Guess what? This ain't no different. Jadeveon Clowney, good luck in the future, brother. But, you're not going to be missed.
We have a saying around our part: "Tough titty," said the kitty, but the milk's still good.
And
It's
if I
one
can
of
say,
those situations, man.
and if I can say one more thing, y'all, to those who are screaming still for Clowney, like a certain South Carolina fan, like I told him on Twitter today, suck it up, Buttercup. It ain't all about you.
That's right.
Right.
We already had a
Right.
bunch
You're
of
just
game
a fan at the end of it.
But look, man, I already have them up on screen right now. Nick Scourton wearing number 11 and Princely Umanmielen wearing number 33. I'll show everybody the
Look
numbers
how
here.
fast Nick looks like. I mean, that's
Yeah,
fast
but
there.
But look, how I've said this before for so many years now, from Ron Rivera to Matt Rule, even to Frank Reich for the blink of an eye that he was the coach for the Panthers. I felt like for such a long time we have failed at starting young guys and let them be day one impactors. I feel this is the perfect opportunity instead of depending on Nick and Princely to sit 1 year, and now we're having to wait to 2026 to see what type of talent we have on the team. We can expect to see them so much more right off the bat, see what they're made of. And I also like what Sideshow said a little bit earlier, too. We have D-line coach Todd Walsh is here. Our future DC and is the D-line coach. Do we have a lot of defensive coaches that can help these young dudes out? How confident are you that these dudes can be day one impact type of guys, or are we putting the cart before the horse?
Nah, I definitely think they're going to make an impact early, Cody. I mean, they're going to have their learning curves. They're definitely going to make mistakes, no doubt about it. I mean, I don't expect both these guys to come out here and play perfect game every game. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely going to have some mistakes or whatever. But, hey, to all the people that said, hey, I want to see these guys right away, with Clowney being gone, you're going to see a lot of them early. Both of them.
Thank God. Thank God. In the past, I can't tell you how many times you would get a rookie and the coaches don't want to play him. And by the time they get in there, everybody sucks everybody's hating, and all people want to see is production, and they don't see it, and they go ape shit on it. Sometimes one of the best edge rushers the Panthers ever had was a third-round pick who sat inactive nearly his whole rookie season, except for a few games at the end of the season. Yeah, his name was Johnson too.
So,
Yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
okay. To be honest, in my opinion, I feel like, and I've even said this on shout out to 704 Shout Out Bound this morning.
Mhm.
I told them like
Cool.
this defense is gonna be rotating guys a lot, if I had to say so myself, because like I know that we want to see these guys' productivities a lot earlier, but I mean we all want to see these guys, succeed. But in my opinion, like a 3-4 defense to me is where you rotate guys. This is not like something that you would know that somebody would do automatically. But like to me, I feel like if we're going to continue doing this 3-4, which I somewhat pray to God we don't have to,
Yeah.
because I would like to see everybody play. And I know people are going to sit there and say, that's not how it works, but I that's how I feel, is how a 3-4 defense should do, is rotate guys as it should relate to.
Yeah. And, Michael, I said this on last Tuesday's show, that to me, I can see a lot of these guys being able to fit a 4-3 defense if we ever did end up moving to a 4-3 in the future. But you're right, though. We do need to have a nasty rotation in order for this defense to work in a 3-4. You're absolutely correct about that. So let's talk about some of these rookie numbers, since they literally they just all officially came out today, right?
Yeah.
So Ted Umanmielen, number 4, we knew that. But how about Nick Scourton? We're at number 11. I think we have a new trend in the NFL where these edge rushers are opting for the smaller numbers rather than the bigger 99 numbers like you used to see in the past. Then you have Jimmy Horn Jr., wearing number 15, and you best believe we're going to talk about Jimmy Horn some more. Wearing number 15, Lathan Ransom, wearing Christian McCaffrey's old number 22 in that defensive backfield at safety. Trevor Etienne, number 23. Now, this is a weird one, but I think I'm coming around on it. Princely Umanmielen, wearing number 33 at edge. That's sort of different, but I still like it nonetheless. Cam Jackson, 76, and Mitchell Evans, number 84. I mean, gentlemen, I know it's just numbers, but some people feel there are good numbers to wear, and there are bad numbers to wear, especially depending on your position. What do you feel about the new numbers for the Panthers rookie class year 2025?
Well, these guys, they want to make a splash in the NFL. They want to get off to a good start for their careers. They want people to notice them from the stands and from home watching TV. That's why you see that, like, the double numbers, the 22, the 33, the 11. And it's crazy when I think about it, because I definitely did think we were going to have a number 11 on this defense this year, but it wasn't Nick Scourton. Is not what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be Jalen Walker. So what a surprise that is for Nick to come in and pick that number 11 and surprise all the fans after we were all convinced that Jalen Walker was going to be the guy selected and playing on this Carolina Panthers defense. Real quick, back to that last issue we were talking about. They fired Tim Lukabu, the linebackers coach. It's a new linebackers coach. And I think that it's safe to say the front seven of the Carolina Panthers defense is stronger this year than it was last year. I think that's a safe statement to make. So it's about the coaching staff proving that they can do it. Because honestly, in the years we've had Evero, he hasn't been able to do it. We haven't seen it. It hasn't come to fruition whatsoever. Sure. Like, there was that one season that people wanted to say we were a top 10 defense, but we were like dead last in red zone and a bunch of other really bad stats. Turnovers is the main thing that's killing me about this defense. And I'm going to take the bat daddy stance on this defense going into the season, Cody. I believe it when I see it. Just like he said about Bryce Young, that's how I feel about the Severo defense. We sent J.C. Horn to the Pro Bowl with only one interception. He was recognized as clearly one of the best defensive backs in the league and got sent to the Pro Bowl, but the man only had one interception because he wasn't put in position to make plays. He didn't travel across the field. All these things, man, I've got a lot of questions about the defense, but I can tell you roster-wise, on paper, it's better, but I want to see it on the field because these coaches got a lot to prove to me, Cody.
Yeah, man, they have a lot to prove to everyone. And I feel like we shouldn't let our excitement blind us to the fact that it still is prove-it season. We need everyone to come out here with a chip on their shoulder, ready to go out there and kick some ass. Pickle, what do you think about these numbers, man? Do any of them stick out to you?
They're all right. I'm still old-fashioned. You know, I want edge rushers to have regular numbers, not these double-digit. Number 11 is a wide receiver's number in my head, and always will be a wide receiver's number.
33 is a running back number.
Yeah, that 33.
Well, the 33 can be running back. It can also be safety or corner. So, but edge rusher, that's just weird. But
like what
weird is how they like it now. So.
Yeah, but what other edge rushers do we know, like in all the NFL, that wear 30s as their number?
That's rare.
Can we think of one?
No,
I can't.
Nope.
Damn. Well, hopefully our boy Princey will be the first. You know what I'm saying?
It is his high school number, so I mean that is the number he really wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So much to think about it.
Yeah, T. Thomas, I know, brother. I got you. You're right.
Jake, what are some of your takeaways on these? What are y'all's takeaways on Lathan Ransom wearing number 22?
I love it because he's gonna be smacking people in the mouth.
Oh, I like that. I really do. You know,
CMC who?
I'm just curious what they do with him. If they start him at free safety, or if he starts at big nickel, or if he doesn't start at all, if he's just a special teams guy.
I still don't know what they're going to do with him. I'm just glad he's on this team. I have no clue what position they're going to put him at.
Boys, do you all feel like as time goes on, more and more people are feeling like we may have gotten one of the steals of the draft with Lathan Ransom? People are really starting to feel like this dude has the potential to be a big-time thumper in the NFL.
Right, and I hope he's better than the last safety we had who wore the number 22. Y'all remember who that was?
Robinson.
Jamie Robinson last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Lathan Ransom's going to have to
and let's be real. Y'all, Christian McCaffrey was just hurt a lot here in 22. And, you know, he looks better in the San Francisco jersey anyway.
Woo! Oh, wow.
I just said that.
How about this? No matter how you feel about McCaffrey, I'm not about to cry over spilled milk. That shit is so in the past for me right now. I'm so ready to move on.
Right.
Michael, go ahead, man.
Okay, so I was trying to get in on this because I had my hand raised up and whatnot. But I got two questions, first of all. Okay, first of all, if Dan Morgan wanted to build around this defense, why did we draft another receiver? And why did it doesn't make sense because we needed corner badly, and that's what I didn't get. Drafting Jimmy Horn, dude, that's just a special teams guy to me. And honestly, it ticks me off because it shakes me up that we now had to wait until we had to sign 2 undrafted free agents in after the draft as cornerbacks. And you know what? It ticks me off that we had to sign 2 receivers. We should have only had to draft 1 and 1 only, because now I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Colorado guy because I never was, never will be. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, man.
What? Why are you holding? Let me educate you. Jimmy Horn Jr. actually is a great pick. Now he gives you the speed and the quickness that you need desperately. Jimmy Horn Jr. is a great pick. He gives you the speed and the quickness that nobody else on the roster gives you, and also he gives you your core special teamer. Let's go to the depth chart briefly, and I'll explain this. Okay, Jimmy Horn replaces two people on this 53-man roster by his ability. Because if you go to the punt and kick return, he actually replaces. I'm way back up here. I'm sorry. He replaces Raheem Blackshear and David Moore. Okay. Jimmy Horn Jr. and Trevor Etienne both can do this. Now, what does that give you? If Jimmy Horn Jr. needs to play both, you're covered. And in today's NFL, either kick return, you have to have two legitimate kick returners out there. You can't just put one in a tight end to block. The NFL will flag you quicker than they would if you walked out there naked. So you have to have two legitimate kick returners. This gives you that option. Plus, on the depth chart at wide receiver, let's go real quick. You have old man and old man and the other old man. Right?
Damn, you savage, Pickle.
All right? I mean, that's just what you got. And yeah, we want them all to look great, but chances are they're not going to. That's just a fact of it. Now, so Jimmy Horn gives you the depth for the future as well as the need for today. Okay?
Absolutely. And I feel like it opens up so much more to our offense when you can do those jet sweeps with those play action passes across the middle of the field, those bubble screens. Like, remember, Steve Smith Sr. started as a special teamer. So there's nothing wrong with being a special teamer at first. You are a part of the team. People think that special teams doesn't matter for some reason. It very much matters. And I like the fact that we have two returners now. I continue to see people say that they were disappointed with the Trevor Etienne pick. But we also got the news that they have already shut Jonathan Brooks down for the entirety of the 2025 season. Knowing that, I don't know how or why people are saying that was a bad pick. Yeah, you signed Rico Dowdle, but you need another returner, like Pickle mentioned. But I think that you add a dynamic skill set with Trevor Etienne, with his ability to catch passes out of the backfield and to be a shifty type of runner. I think both of those picks are great. We split 4 and 4, 4 defensive picks, 4 offensive picks. I feel like we're in a position to hit the ground running on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. That's what Dan Morgan was tasked to do. Right. And I feel like he did that with flying colors, boys.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out real quick, and then I'll shut up. I'm sorry, Michael. If you you are right. You are right about corner, and people are underestimating this situation. I believe now that we have a bigger need at corner than safety, and here's why. Because if you look at safety, we have Modric, Ransom, and Richardson, and that's nice. But at corner, all we have is Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn and Charles Smith-Wade. Beyond that, we have a bunch of no-names, and I really mean no-names, because if you look at them, most of them you won't know their names. And that's an issue the Panthers are currently bringing in corners, free agent corners to look at, and they're not Russell Douglas and Bradbury and Gilmore. They're not even close to that. So, but depth at corner worries me. But again, I say I trust Dan Morgan and I trust Dave Canales. I wasn't high on the McMillan pick until I realized that Bryce requested him. Now that made up for a lot. But at the same time, I say, Dave, you're the head coach. You're the offensive coordinator. It's on your ass to make sure everything goes together.
Yeah, it really is. Go ahead, Mike. I know you wanted to jump in.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so now my final question to this is, now that we got Trevor Etienne, what do you think happens if because honestly I feel like if we got him for a reason, and I'm just speculating on this, I think the reason why they might have got him is because they might think that they might end up releasing, and I'm using the quote unquote, releasing Jonathan Brooks because he can't stay healthy.
He's on he's on IR.
They're not going to release Jonathan Brooks
He's
this
on
year.
IR anyway. He's inactive for the rest of the year anyway. So he's on PUP anyway. So he don't really count anyway.
Right.
But, when next year when he gets healthy and he can then it gives him a broader scope, because the guy you brought in as a free agent for running back, Rico Dow's, is only signed to a 1-year deal, so he'll be in free agency anyway. So, and then who knows what happens after that?
Okay, because I was just speculating on that because I'm thinking, like, why did we need another running back? Because it didn't make sense to me, because like I'm thinking, okay, we got Jonathan Brooks, we got Ricky Dowdle, we got Chuba Hubbard, and thank God we re-signed them. So yeah, I'm just hoping that if we plan to have some kind of plan for the future for these guys, it's gonna be, to be honest, I'll make it short. I hope we have a good future ahead of us, and I hope we make it to the Super Bowl someday.
Yeah, I think we all do. These are skills. What do you make of some of that stuff we were just talking about? Jimmy Horn Jr., people are already talking about him a ton. And, I have a question about what fans of Jimmy Horn should even be called. We have cokeheads on the team. Does that mean that we're about to have some horn dogs on the team? I don't know, man. Dude, there's a bunch of different ways that this can go. But these skills, what do you think Jimmy Horn Jr.'s role in this offense could end up being this year?
I saw you when you posted that, and I replied in the proper way. You're not catching me in that trap. I knew what you were trying to do, because the other thing that come to my mind wasn't real nice either. I was thinking something along the lines of speed heads, and that's what he does offer to this offense. We'd have coke heads and speed, or maybe tweakers. We could just say, if you like Jimmy Horn, you're a tweaker. And then we got tweakers and coke heads. But yeah, either way, it's a bad setup for a nickname for Jimmy. Jimmy Too Fast. Let's go that way. Maybe something nicer, more appropriate.
Michael Allen Brooks said Slim Jimmy's.
You see what Cody's doing. You fell right into the trap, Picker. You fell right into the trap.
Michael Allen Brooks. I'm just quoting. Now, I could quote what T. Thomas said. Y'all want me to do that?
Well, look, man, we have a bunch of them, dude. Look at these. I'm not falling for. We got horn dogs, horny goats, horny AF, horny. Bro, this is already wild. It's about to be a bunch of stuff like that. To me, horn dogs.
Jimmy Crackcorn. I like that with Jimmy Crackcorn.
Jimmy Crackcorn. Jimmy Speedsters. I don't know, man. But I do think that he has a role this year, certainly on special teams. But I think that with that type of dynamic athleticism, they're going to find ways to get Jimmy Horn involved in this offense.
Jimmy Crackcorn.
Think about Tompkins last year. You'd see him on those end arounds, and that's that's how he was used as a weapon and a gadget guy, as like a speed guy. And now we've replaced that with somebody with more upside, more potential than Tompkins and Jimmy Horn. So I like him in the return role. We don't know. We got a 35-year-old starting wide receiver. He could take an injury. Hunter Renfrow. I think that it's probably the biggest deal to him than anybody with Jimmy Horn being on this team, because I think that Jimmy Horn, if he does play well and he does finally take the top off of defenses, that could really hurt Renfro's snaps. I know they're playing 2 different games, but how many years have Panthers fans, since Bryce has been here, we've been clamoring, we need that speed guy for Bryce. We need somebody to get over the top. We need somebody to get behind the secondary. And Jimmy Horn's finally that guy. But I think to this year, we'll see him more in that gadget role. We won't see a ton of snaps from him, about as much as we saw Tompkins last year, would be my guess is about how much we'll see. But Dave Canales cooks when he uses those plays, man. He's got a pretty shifty playbook. We know that. He's not afraid to do some different things on offense and get those guys involved in. And he might break one, and we might be great big fans of Jimmy Horn sooner than later.
I sure am hoping these. And shout out to my boy Brett Panther. Says hardcore horn. I love it, dude. The possibilities are truly endless.
That's funny.
Jake, listen, Jake, a lot of people are excited about Jimmy Horn. How are you feeling, man? Is he just a special teamer, or can he actually do some damage this year on offense?
He's a baller, man. I mean, I don't know what all he's going to do for our offense, but I do think he's going to be involved. He's going to get some plays this year. I do think he's going to be more heavily involved in special teams, but I do see Canales giving him some looks and certain plays and stuff like that. I'm excited, honestly. I'm very excited. I also got a nickname for him. It's a long nickname. I don't know if there's a lot of WWE fans.
Let me hear it, bro. Let me hear it.
This is R-Truth's Little Jimmy, best friend. That's his best friend, Little Jimmy. R-Truth's friend, Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. I like Little Jimmy Speedster. Little Jimmy Speedster, man. He's and then shout out to the Bat Daddy in the chat. Says he's a horniac myself. Hey man, there's lots of good ones. Lots of good ones. But yeah, listen, I think that Dan Morgan did a good job last year of rebuilding the offensive line and adding Xavier Legette. And this year, you add Teteroa McMillan, Jimmy Horn Jr., Hunter Renfrow. Like, he has given Bryce Young every chance to have a super successful year 3 that a GM could give him. I know that Deez, you were saying that Teteroa, that he could be dominant and you're getting more excited about him. Tell me what it is that you think could make number 4 Nalo so special in 2025.
Well, simply the fact that he's got the catch radius of an aircraft carrier. I mean, this guy is like a massive fleet all by himself out there on the field. Dude, I put out a montage of some of his catches, and it's like catch after catch, one-handed, him snagging it out of the air. Definitely don't play the audio because I put Thunderstruck behind it because it just seems I'm completely thunderstruck with the Panthers getting the best wide receiver in the draft class. But it's exciting, man. I mean, this guy goes up and high points the ball. Even Xavier Legette couldn't stop talking about it, and he was at the Kentucky Derby. That's what he kept saying. This guy goes up and gets the ball. And when you watch the film or the highlights or any of it, that's what he does. He's ex-volleyball player. The guy knows how to time those things, jump up and to do those spikes. You know, he's tall, lanky. Dude, he's in the – they're going to toss it up in the back of the end zone. Remember the Panthers a couple years ago when we had Matt Rule? They always had the basket to the back of the end zone. The quarterbacks practiced throwing into those hoops and into those nets, trying to pinpoint a wide receiver in the back of the end zone. They need to bring that back for a guy like Nalo. He's going to be able to go up in the back of the end zone, make catches that other defensive backs just won't be able to defend. There's not a whole lot of them out there that are 6'4" or taller. He's going to be able to high point the ball in ways the other defensive backs won't be able to guard him. He's got rarefied air, if you will, up there. And I've got a lot of confidence in his athletic ability to go up and get the ball for Bryce. And Bryce just has to get him opportunity, kind of like the F-it. He's down there somewhere guy. And that's what we've been waiting on to get. Right. We finally got a true X. We went through everybody we could think of that the Panthers could possibly bring in, T. Higgins and everybody else to come in and be the X for this Carolina Panthers team. And now look at all the pressure it takes off of XL. You're opening him up too. Look at the pressure it takes off of Jadeveon Sanders. You're opening him up too. Look at all the pressure it takes off of Coker, Thielen, all these other guys because you got this great big aircraft carrier blowing everything up down the field, Cody. Let's go.
I love it, dude. And the compliment between our first receiver pick and our second receiver pick. Just a few things here. Look how fast and shifty Jimmy Horn's feet are. Look how fast he gets in and out of his breaks. Dude, he is incredibly fast. The only reason he fell as far as he did was because he's probably 175 pounds, soaking wet. He probably needs to bulk up a little bit. But also, I don't remember who was throwing this ball, but this is Ted McMillan. Look at him adjusting to a poorly thrown ball.
Granger.
And still getting the
Undrafted
ball.
rookie.
Yeah, still getting the ball right in his hands, working on that footwork. The boys are already in the laboratory cooking up something special for the 2025 season.
Well, you see Ted hugging Jimmy there. He looked like his little boy. He said, "Come on."
It looks like a younger brother to the older brother.
Yeah, he's like, "Come on,
man.
bro." Shout out to Bat Daddy in the chat, man. Got plenty of room, man.
Yeah, that's right. Bat Daddy.
Yes, sir. Bat Daddy, what's up, brother?
But Bryce is really accurate, Cody. And Nalo, if you watch a lot of his catches there, and the one today that you showed, he's kind of used to catching these inaccurate passes and having to go get them. And he might not have to do that with Bryce. It's going to be interesting how their chemistry develops, because Bryce, we saw him put throws dead on the money, right over the top of the guy's head, right into the hands. We saw Thielen make a ton of those catches with Bryce already. And it may be a world of shock having Nalo out there and him getting actually accurate balls that he doesn't have to extend out and make like we saw in that clip earlier. I think it's going to be a unique dynamic.
Yes, sir.
Cody.
Yeah, go ahead, people.
I'm going to make it official. I'm going to agree with Bat Daddy. I'm a horniac myself.
A horniac.
I like that.
We might need to put a poll.
I like the horniac. I like those. I'm a horniac myself, y'all.
Damn.
I'm gonna keep pounding when I think of horniac. Keep pounding, brother.
Keep that
pounding.
to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Jake the Snake, what do you make of what Ted McMillan?
I just got back.
Man.
I don't even know what I missed with Pickle. Oh, with Ted McMillan, holy moly, y'all, we got something that I ain't ever seen. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I know there was people out saying that, oh, he's going to be another Kelvin Benjamin. That is a lazy take. And I'll tell you why it's a lazy take. Because if you look at their college film, what Ted McMillan, T-Mac, Nala, what he put up during his college career is way more than what Kelvin Benjamin did. This guy is going to be lethal for our offense. Dave Canales has no reason why he can't open up his full playbook going into this season. I'm very excited to see what he can do.
Truth.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that they said. Yep.
Yeah. So much potential for this offense, too. And running the football. Like I said, let me pivot to this. I briefly mentioned it. Man, Jonathan Brooks will not see the field at all in 2025. How much do you think this hinders his future on this team, especially if Trevor Etienne can make an impact this year?
I'm going to say his impact on this is for his future. In reality, it's very bleak. The best thing that can happen for him once he gets healthy is actually to stay on the roster for a little while. That way he can prove to folks that he can stay healthy long term. Now, there was some crazy thought processes out there, and I'm not certain if it's Twitterverse or where it was, but I heard it on a different podcast earlier this evening that talking about trading him to the Cowboys and all that. Y'all, Jonathan Brooks, come next year after he's finished his IR or PUP tour, isn't going to have any trade value. Nobody's going to give you any picks for him. Period. You're going to be real lucky to get a guy. I mean, you're going to be extremely lucky to get a conditional 6th round pick. The condition is that he makes the 53-man roster, and if he don't, you don't get nothing. That's what kind of pick you're going to have. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's pretty much his value at that point.
No, you're not wrong. And it's really going to be tough on him that the next time we see him, half of his rookie contract will be over. And he's playing one of the most recycled positions in football. Jake, what are your thoughts on the future of Jonathan Brooks to miss the 2025 season in its entirety?
I mean, it needed to be done. I mean, it wasn't a surprise to me like it was to a lot of fans. I don't know why it was a surprise, because this dude is coming off his second ACL injury, same leg and all. and they're going to give him a full season until next off season. And I mean, it needed to be done. And my hope for him is that when he's finally healthy, he's finally able to, have an off season where he's fully healthy and stuff, that he hits the ground running. And he's going to have to hit the ground running because, like you just said, the running back position, I mean, it's cycled out like it's nothing. And then not only that, it has been devalued and valued. It's really a weird position if you think about it when it comes to how they're valued. But I wish him nothing but the best, but it is an uphill climb for him, sadly.
Yeah, man, it's a super uphill climb. Deez, you've talked about this a little before. What do you make of that Trevor Etienne pick now that we do know for sure that we are not going to have Jonathan Brooks in 2025?
I think in both of Dan Morgan's draft, the running back selection was the most controversial in both. But like I talked about on draft night, it was last Friday, like I talked about then, he's not scared to take a swing. If he's convicted on a guy and he believes he's going to help this team, he'll draft him. And it may go against the grain a little bit. It definitely has with Panthers fans. A lot of people doubted this ETN pick, and a lot of people doubted the Brooks pick. And it looks like the doubters, at least right now for this season, for 2025, they were correct. We should not have took Brooks in the second round. At least we got that second round pick for this year. Number 57, we turned it into 51. So, I mean, we made lemonade out of lemons for sure. But the ETN story is a good one with the coach that coached his brother being here all those years. He's got 15 years of NFL experience. Our running backs coach does. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. But he coached both the ETN brothers, and that's a cool story going forward. And I would think that he's going to have some success. I think that Canales really needs that an extra pass catcher out of the backfield, and that's why we keep taking these swings at running back in the draft. They're looking for somebody to fill a specific role, and it's clearly not a blocking role for the running back. It's getting out of the backfield and getting into space. It's something that Dave Canales needs in this offense. And, hey, hopefully we get to see it more this season because we really swung and missed last year on this.
Yeah, we really did. And that was very well said that the two most controversial picks from this year's draft and last year's draft were a running back. Yeah, that really is something. Michael, I know you weren't necessarily a fan of Jimmy Horn, but what do you feel about Trevor Etienne?
I really haven't seen much film on him, to be honest, because I never watched Georgia because I'm more of I'll say this much. I'm a year 2 Oregon Duck fan. So, yeah, I don't know much about him, to be honest, because, I don't pay attention to Georgia that much. But I mean, I'll give him a shot to see how well he does for us. But I mean, in the end, if he pans out, then okay, I'll accept that. But if he doesn't, then it's kind of a 50-50 shot with me, to be honest.
Yeah, man, lots of different ways that you can sort of present this. But overall, I think that we have a lot of potential to do some real damage this year. But you know who else thinks that the Panthers can do some real damage? The mainstream media. Because I have finally been seeing more and more people feeling like the Carolina Panthers have the potential to be a potent offense this year. This is from a fantasy football draft site. They have Bryce Young listed as their 14th ranked quarterback going into 2025, really from a fantasy perspective, but that still means they expect them to put up points. Then on top of that, you have Umanmielen Umanmielen at number 11 in front of A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., and rookie Emeka Ibuka. Do you feel like the excitement that Panther Nation has been feeling is now starting to permeate the rest of the outside football world? And do you want it to be that way? Or would you prefer for us to continue to be slept on as a team going forward?
I like it personally, but I mean, I get we haven't really gotten no love from the media for so long that we're used to it. And I mean, sometimes it did feel like it did play a part and kind of helped this team, gave more motivation. But I mean, we was getting more love during the actual draft process than any time I can remember. Like our picks, like they was highly, sought after. PFF had us very high on all of our picks. So I mean, I kind of like it, but I mean, it's not really big to me really.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Panther Pickle.
But
whoever wants to go, whoever just said something.
I'll go first. Okay,
Go.
and then I'll let people.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this has to be the year that Bryce Young puts up some good numbers this year. So I don't want to hear no excuses from anybody this year. It's either put up or shut up this year. I want to see Bryce Young succeed. Because look, I'm glad he got benched halfway through the season last season to make him learn how to play the quarterback position. And you know what? When he came back out there after Andy Dalton had that incident, he played the way that I wanted him to play. And I want to keep on seeing him do that every single game.
Yeah,
So no more excuses.
Yeah, I
more
hear you.
excuses.
We've given him every weapon, every opportunity to be successful. This is the year, and I think we're all excited about it, and we're not the only ones. Who wanted to go next? It was either
I'll go real quick. To be honest with you, these rankings are more to do with fantasy, but trying to encapsulate them into what we're talking about right now, I'm going to say this. Bryce Young can play super great elite football, but if the wide receivers can't catch the ball, it's more on them than him. He can throw it. He can't run down there and catch it for him.
True.
We were in a position to get Tetron and McMillan because Xavier Legette kept dropping footballs. You may not like that, or even for reality in one game, Chuba Hubbard fumbled the ball. Let's be real. Let's be reality here. In neither one of them situations could Bryce Young fix it. So I'm not defending Bryce. I'm just being realistically honest. If we have a bad season, you have to ask your questions. If Excel keeps dropping passes, should he get a year 3? If Chuba can't hold on to the ball, why should he be the number one running back? It was just one ball, but still yet. You win as a team and you lose as a team. And unfortunately, when you lose as a team, some good players get caught up in the shuffle. So I'm going to say they have a chance to improve this, but the entire team and the coaches have to help out. They really do have to help out. And if you look at the wide receiver situation, the reason why Tetron and McMillan is higher than the Eagles running backs or wide receivers is because everybody expects the Eagles to do nothing but running next year. So, I mean, there is that message into the fray.
Yeah.
But who knows? I personally think Tetron and McMillan is better than Drake London. I don't give a damn with any motherfuckers.
Hey, listen, that's what we're going to say. How about that? No matter what. No matter what, it's Tet McMillan over Drake London every single day that ends in Y. But I really do believe Dave Canales at face value when he says that we want to be a stickler running the football. And I think that's what we're going to do. And interestingly enough, to me, it's because we're going to be good running the football, at least I'm hoping, with this offensive line, with this running back field, that it's going to open up play action pass so much for us, where I think Bryce Young will thrive. And I think both Tet and Jimmy Horn Jr. would also thrive in that kind of a system.
And that's need that to happen as well. Go D's.
Number 6, best running back in the league, most yards. Number 6 in the NFL, Chuba Hubbard. I think people forget about it, And I think as far as us being slept on, I think that would be true for the NFC South. I don't think that Atlanta took us seriously when we smacked them in the mouth in the last game of the season last year and won that game, coming back, pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps, so to speak. And I think that's why Bryce is finally getting some national attention, because here's a guy, he was left for dead, man. He got benched week 2. We thought he was done. We thought we were going to trade him for a 4th and get, and just be embarrassed about the trade up and everything that Scott Fitterer did here. That's what we saw coming. And I think the Bucs are sleeping on us. I think the Bucs are comfortable up there at number 1. I don't think they see the Panthers as actual contenders. They've won this division, 4 years in a row now? And I think that we've got a chance to contend. It's just when we go in their house in Tampa Bay, we got to find a way to win that game. And I think that the way Bryce was able to make his comeback last season, throwing to guys like freaking David Moore and winning football games with a defense giving up 475 yards a game, 175 yards on the ground, 6 straight games of over 200 yards rushing. Bryce Young overcome all those things to get us 5 games, and Lord knows we could have easily won 8. So, yeah, I think the NFC South is sleeping on us in a lot of ways, except for the Saints. Those fans are really depressed. They're more depressed than we ever were, I think. The Saints fans are down bad, and I'm here for it. But
amen to that, brother. I love that. I love the Saints being down. I'm all into that.
But I think we run the ball if we're winning the game. That's where we need that. That's where we need our defense to step up. Our defense has got to do something. I mean, we can't give up 475 yards a game. That's insane. That's crazy. The defense has got to get off the field and get the offense back on the field so that we can run the ball. That's because if we're behind, Canales is going to throw it, and at least we got the weapons for Bryce to throw it to now. And it's not going to be David Moore or Tompkins. That was a patchwork crew. And what did Dave Canales say today? He said, I'll go with this group we got right here. He's excited about these wide receivers and tight ends that we brought in this year and running back. I mean, he's ready to roll with all rookie lineup on offense. He doesn't have a problem with it. He's excited. And if he's excited, I'm excited too. And I want to see the Panthers score some points. There's going to be nothing better than cutting on that game at 1 o'clock and watching us get 21, 27 points in the first half. You're going to be locked in the whole second half and cheering the whole way, no matter what the defense does. So the offense is where the excitement is for the Panthers this season, in my opinion.
Amen to that, Deeds. Let me add this in, Cody. Falcon fans, if we roll tide and whoop your butt all together twice this year, man, Red Swarm, you better steer the way. You just better not come around, brother. That's all. He better show his ass up. No, he was on 704. He better show up. He was on 704 earlier. He said it was on 704 earlier. Yeah. He says, if you all do that to us, I'm going to change my name. I'm going into hiding. I'm going to change my name. I ain't coming around nobody. So it don't matter, Red. I love you, brother, but I still want to whip. I want to. Yeah, we want to beat that ass. That's and you know what? If the Panthers lose to the Saints this year, I'm going to be a mad pickle. A mad pickle. Oh, look who pops up.
There he
the
is.
Man is,
I told you he don't hide.
You better hope it don't, brother. But I'm here for it if it does. Man, I knew Red Swarm was out here lurking. You know what I'm saying? But boys, let me I'm gonna use some of the Tuesday show template to guide some of the things that we were talking about last Tuesday to bring it into tonight. Man, year 2 of Xavier Legette and the Panthers front office and coaching staff have routinely said that they believe that he is poised to have a big 2025 pick. Or you mentioned earlier, some of those drops, they led to us drafting Tet McMillan. Now that we do have the appearance of Tet on the roster, what kind of opportunity is this for XL in year 2? And what are we expecting from him this year?
I think XL is I really think he's going to have a good year this year. I know I hyped up earlier, and I plan to keep doing that because sometimes the best way to improve yourself is to concentrate. Listen, it's what Cole said the other day. Y'all don't take this to heart. Don't take it the wrong way. We all cheer for the man. But the best way for you to make people forget about last year is if you come out and have a few tip-top, high-profile games.
And
You know,
don't drop the ball.
it's just and don't drop that ball. You're just going to, and I remember Steve Smith's rookie year. He sure did fumble a lot. He really did. Now he made a bunch of plays on special teams and made the Pro Bowl, but he sure did fumble a lot, and a lot of Panther fans didn't want to see him get a chance at wide receiver because he fumbled so much on kick returns and punt returns. But he made himself into a pretty good wide receiver. So
That's the truth. I have some clips of Dave Canales. We'll play a couple of these as we further the discussion. This is about the young guys on offense.
Process. It was good to see those guys in person kind of run around, and so I was impressed with that group. It's a really strong. I told somebody, I was like, I'll go play with this group right now, and we'll be all right. So, involving T-Mac and of course Jimmy Horn, and Mitchell Evans. It was really cool to see that group out there, and Trevor in the back. So I'm really excited about these guys coming into the rest of the group and helping us.
All right,
That
so
man is cheesing inside right now. Like he can't stop.
Yeah.
Now, bro.
how could you not be, man?
Right?
How could you not be? But yeah, listen, I do love the youth movement. Like it feels like they have every intention to play these young players and see them produce year one. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really important. Let me go to my man Jake the Snake. Year 2 for Xavier Legette. What do you think that looks like? And how do you think the Panthers maybe use him differently this year as compared to last year?
I think it's ultimately going to make him the number 2, number 3 guy. I think, T-Mac's going to be our number 1 wide receiver. So it's going to move XL to another slot. And that's going to take the number 1 corner off of him. So ultimately, I think that's going to help just then. I can't give you stats. I don't know how many yards or touchdown XL is going to get. I just know his play's going to look better on the field, meaning he's not going to make as many mental mistakes and stuff like that. Because, like I said, that it's going to ultimately help him that T-Mac was drafted because he's just going to get better looks ultimately.
Absolutely, I agree. Last year, did he not? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not draw a lot of number 1 corners last year? XL did.
He did.
I know he had Darius Slay on him when we played the Eagles. I do know that.
Right. So with T-Mac out there, and whoever ends up being our third, you can't always do that. So I mean, you're right, Jake. That's going to help him quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't get all the lack of faith in XL for this season. Almost 500 yards wasn't that bad of a year for him. I mean, Coker was definitely nipping at his heels, playing less games, and I don't know what that reason was. Talking about that last game in Atlanta where we come back to win it, it was Coker that caught the final 3 passes from Bryce Young to get us down to the 1 foot-yard line for Miles Sanders to run it in and win that game. And I don't think that he had planned on being – he was never planned to be the X. Deontay Johnson was supposed to be the X for the Panthers, if we recall. But the fact of the matter is the guy caused problems in the locker room, was too much of a diva or whatever he did. I don't know what he did. He was always professional with what I saw, but something behind the scenes didn't sit right with the Panthers brass, and he got moved up out of here. So that thrust XL into a role that he really wasn't comfortable playing, and that the Panthers never really drafted him to play. So now, this year, we're putting him back in the role opposite of T-Mac or not Nilo, whichever, and that the role he wanted that we intended for him to play. And I think that'll be a big help to him. It's going to take a lot of pressure off him. Like you said, being matched up by the number 1 cornerback, he was never supposed to be. That was supposed to be Deontay Johnson's role. And Deontay Johnson had the opportunity to stay here and become the Carolina Panthers' number 1 overall wide receiver, to become our true X, but he just didn't. He didn't do what he needed to behind the scenes, whatever that was. And there was no one really ever defined what it was, but he just he didn't mesh with the crowd with the Panthers, so he got moved out. So X was in an uncomfortable role, and I think it hurt his stats. And yeah, he had drops, but man, I mean, who don't? Everybody's got them. I mean, I don't think that his drops were like highest in the NFL or anything. It was nothing like that whatsoever. But he maybe didn't live up to what some of the other wide receivers that got drafted before him did. The guy for the Chargers is one that comes to my mind. First of all, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. But
McConkey.
Thank you, McConkey. Sometimes when you're talking, it's hard to think of those names, but when you're sitting back listening, it's easy to think of them. Yeah. So McConkey maybe overperformed what people thought he was going to do, and maybe XL underperformed what we thought he was going to do. I think I said 600 or 700 yards. He ended up with a right at 5. I mean, is that really that disappointing to be completely out on the guy and think that he's going to lose his job? I mean, I think Coker, what really happened is Coker overperformed and XL somewhat underperformed. And I think that's all it was. And it's because of the role that you put him in. I think Coker and XL are your number 2s. I think they're interchangeable on the outside. I think that you could see that maybe Coker may have a better matchup on a certain DB that XL wouldn't, or vice versa. I also think it gives him the opportunity to show off his speed this year, which we didn't get to see last year. So I'm excited about the new dynamic, putting another wide receiver 1 into the lineup besides just a Deontay Johnson. Ted may take some time to develop his relationship with Bryce Young and that timing and that chemistry, but we're going to see nothing but benefit for a guy like XL in this year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. What do you think we're going to do at the slot? Because it seems like we have a lot of guys who really could do some damage from that slot receiver position this year. Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow are 2, but XL, we've been known to put him there. It feels like Jimmy Horn Jr. could go there as well. It just seems like there's a lot of options for the Panthers to attack.
That's a great problem.
Yeah, with that slot wide receiver position.
I think honestly Adam or Renfrow would be the best picks there, with an occasional tight end Sanders. Cody, I want to ask you real quick, bro.
Yeah, man.
See all that construction in the background, and on the other side you had the construction sitting on a hill.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to work construction over there right now. I wouldn't get a damn thing done. I'd be over there watching every bit of that practice.
Yeah, how could
You
you?
filming it?
I would. I'd film that bitch. My boss come over and said, "What the hell, man? You supposed to have his nose up 4 hours ago." I'd say, "Shut the hell up." Then I'd walk over to Cody's office and have a beer because I'd be fired by then.
Yep, that probably is what it would be. Yeah, you see all the construction going on in the background.
Right.
Yeah, man. I hope they get done with it soon.
Right.
Man, it would be so fun to be there this year, man.
Right. And let's think how fun it's going to be when they're done with it in probably year 3, and then we get to go on there and back to practice. Just to think of how fun that's going to be.
Yeah.
Stadium will be done. Everything will be right. Everything will be ready.
So shout out to Stephen Bailey. He says XL's reception percentage was 58. DJ Moore's career percentage is 62. XL has room to grow, and I think he can. Shout out to Aries Claire. Says, last I saw, XL was projected to have 867 yards and 7 touchdowns per StatMuse future stats in 2025. That's not bad either. You could do a lot worse than that.
Oh, everybody be ecstatic if that happens. I think people will be fired up.
Yeah, you know what? Let me throw this out there just for shit, just for laughs.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, I've had way too much coffee, yo. I'm not used to having coffee this late. I'm psyched up.
Better calm down,
Yeah.
Hey, if I start taking my clothes off, mute my camera.
Oh, Lord. You better keep them on, Pickle.
Oh, what the hell was that? Oh, yeah. I want to ask you, do you think it's possible that T-Mac and XL can both have over 1,000 yards receiving?
Woo! We can dream, baby. We can dream.
Right?
We can dream.
Light people up. They win the division and totally blow out the Bucks, the Saints, and the Falcons. All of them in every game.
Sweet music to my ears.
4,000 yards passing, Pickle, is that what you said?
Oh, yeah. That sounds good. And Bryce Young
No.
get on camera the last game in a post game and say, "Hey, everybody says I was too short and I didn't have an arm. Me now."
Yeah, but I do hope we see that deep ball resuscitated this year for the Carolina Panthers. I feel like it's been missing for a long time. Bryce started to turn it up a little bit at the end of the year last year.
He did.
But, yeah, man. By the way, Eric Clare says Ted McMillan showed 1,009 yards and 11 touchdowns on the same future stat sheet. So, bro, that's, 18 touchdowns between the two of them?
We won't know how to act.
On,
Y'all won't know how to act on the after show. After the games, y'all are gonna be so stupid.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be so fucking pumped.
Yeah, it'll be wild if that happens. I saw the same number, Claire. Thank you for sharing that with us. I tell you what I would like him to beat. For me, if he'll just beat Drake London's rookie year, 866. If he'll beat that, I'll be happy. And if he'll beat that 4 touchdown mark, I'll be happy. Like I'm expecting a lot, of course, and I'm super excited. I'm like one of the most excited Panthers fans anyway. But I understand that, things may not start the way we want it to. It may take some time to get into a rhythm and get things back clicking and going. So, as long as he can beat London's first year, that 866 mark, around 900 yards, I'm super happy with the production there. And I'll be honest, even if he comes away this season and say he has 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, I'm not going to be too upset because we're developing young talent and sprinkling in some veteran guys to help them along the way with a Renfro and a Thielen. And the more I think about it, adding Renfro, it really does make sense because Thielen at 35, if he gets tired, he needs a blow, he needs to take a break, you throw Renfro in there. It's kind of the same type of receiver that can run the same type of plays, and those guys can work together and kind of mentor these young guys on the outside that have a superior physical skill set comparatively. So I think it's going to work, man, and some of these projections I think are high for these wide receivers, and I just want fans to not be shooting for the moon, that 1,300 yards or something crazy, 12 touchdowns. Let's not go too wild, and I understand that the numbers are being put out there, but let's just give it some time because I don't want the big crash out by Panthers fans where it's like, or it's been 2 games and we haven't really seen him emerge yet, and he's not done this and he hadn't done that. I don't want to see the big crash out. Just kind of mute your expectations just a little bit so that way if things do get off to a slow start, you're not super disappointed and you miss all the action on Sundays because fans will check out in a heartbeat, Cody. You know that.
Yeah, 100%. And like Easy Crepe says, if Malik Neighbors can surpass 1,200 yards on a dysfunctional Giants team, Tet and XL, they could be okay this year, Go ahead, Michael. What do you think about this?
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Having 2 receivers at 1,000 yards would be awesome. Okay, but that's like a dream state type of thing. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad if something like that was to happen. But realistically, you would have to pass the ball like a bazillion freaking times just to get your receivers to that kind of thing. Now, because that's basically what you do in Madden if you're kind of that person that would like to pass a lot. So, but I mean, it'll take time to get everybody in preparation. But I will say this: if Ted McMillan, or no, I won't say that. If Tedarola McMillan gets 1,000 yards this season, I will be the happiest Panther fan in the world to see that happen. Because it's like we all say, it hasn't happened in so long that we haven't had a 1,000 yard receiver yet.
Yeah, it's been too long. When was the last time we had 1,000 yards? Was it DJ Moore?
Probably so.
Yeah, it was DJ Moore. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm scrolling. I'm looking through Dave Canales on a few of these different clips that he had. I wanted to roll back around to him talking about Jadeveon Clowney and his release and what it means for the young edge rushers on the team.
I just wanted to point out that was a good point by Michael right there.
Absolutely.
How long have we been asking for someone to replace DJ Moore on this team, and then the Panthers went out and did it? And are we as thankful as we should be that we finally did that? Some fans yes, some fans no. And we've waited a long time to replace DJ Moore since that trade to get Bryce Young, and we finally done it, and we did it in big fashion, doing it in the top 10. Just one
Cody.
good point,
sir.
Yeah, thank you. We were entirely wrong. The last Panther wide receiver to get 1,000 yards was Adam Thielen.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
it was Adam Thielen.
That is right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Man,
Yeah, he had over 100 catches.
I need to go to
How
bed.
could
I
we
feel
forget
stupid.
that, man?
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man.
No, he's the man.
Shut the hell up, man.
I know. Sometimes
I think that's the
we
main
need
reason
those-
why I forgot, because he be getting shit on too damn much.
I know, man, and I'm interested to see how good he looks this year. And Hunter Renfrow, what's he going to be like? But yeah, man, let's circle back. This is Dave Canales talking about cutting Jadeveon Clowney.
I really appreciate JD. Certainly you watch the 2024 film, is a guy that just gave up everything that he had, on the field. And so we really appreciate that. And there was a lot of, things, from a general, cap standpoint and things going forward. And about opportunity, we're developmentally minded, and we understand we bring two, outside linebackers, 2 edge rushers in, and all those reps are valuable, and we felt like this is a time to just make sure that those guys are getting the volume of the reps and the learning that's going on. David, a lot of things.
So again, they're making no qualms telling people that this was a cap move, that this is something that they were going to do for numbers purposes. Boys, what now that we have that $7.8 extra million, how are we going to spend that money now that Jadeveon Clowney is no longer on the team? And to answer that question, I'm going to bring in my bro from the beautiful islands in Hawaii, my man JD, back on the free for all. JD, how are you, brother? What's up, man?
What's good? How y'all been, man?
Doing
Yeah,
good. How are you, bro?
Hey, I can't be too mad, man. I'm happy. I'm blessed. Like everything that could be working right seemed to be pulling in the right direction, man.
Man.
Great to hear.
I was listening to the podcast. I was on my way back to the crib, and it's been a little minute since I've been able to hop in. And sadly, I ain't got a lot of time, but I did want to pose this question to y'all, or at least get y'all thoughts on it, because we're discussing the wide receivers, the 1,000-yard hold, that whole 9-yard, and
Yeah.
Earlier this week, I forget the analyst who compared the two, but if you say Justin Jefferson and you say T-Mac and you put those two dudes in the same sentences, my ears perk up. I heard the man say that he saw a lot of Justin Jefferson and T-Mac, and ever since I heard that, it had me hyped, because there's elements of Justin Jefferson's game when you watch it, and he's smooth with his route running, like a perfectionist. He's very smooth, and everyone knows how dynamic he is as a receiver.
Yeah.
If T-Mac, and I'm not saying T-Mac is that, but when I watched what he did in college, he's very smooth with his route running. The highlights of him running at camp today, he looks faster than what his college film showed. That smoothness is still there. If T-Mac is cut from the same cloth as a Justin Jefferson, like, dear God, like we saw what Bryce did last season with what he had. If we just got him a Justin Jefferson like receiver, and what I mean by that is these are guys that no matter what team they're on, no matter what your receiver squad is set up like, if you get a Justin Jefferson, everybody else gets bumped. Everyone else gets bumped to the right. There ain't but a handful of guys like that in the league. If that's what T-Mac becomes, like, good, like I just want to hear your guys' opinion on the comparison. Like, do you believe? Because I'm hearing a lot of Mike Evans, but I I heard a lot of Mike Evans in terms of his stature, but every time I turned on his and I didn't watch film, I watched highlights. When I go and look at homie's highlights, he's a very smooth route runner. Like he can go up and high point it, he can go up and do that. But his game seems to be get the damn ball to me, and if you get the ball in his AO, his area, it's mine, and I'm gonna do my thing after it. Like I don't see Mike Evans when I see him play. I see a dynamic receiver. I see a motherfucker that's gonna be, he's the Panthers' #1, and he's one of the best receivers in the league.
I love that, man. And they're really both not your typical, you hear the term diva wide receiver. I feel like Justin Jefferson's really humble. I feel like Nalo is also really humble. And man, if you want to talk about coming down with the ball, Justin Jefferson is one of the best in the games. So I do think from a catching perspective, it is a very good comparison. I do know that Justin Jefferson is one of the coldest route runners in the game. So,
Nasty.
yeah, Nalo's really, really, really going to have to continue to step it up if he wants to be in that same level of separator as a Justin Jefferson, for sure. Who else wants to jump in on that, boys?
I agree. I think he could be.
Yeah.
He could be just that level of a wide receiver. That with in time, I don't think it's going to happen his rookie year. I hope it does, but I think in time he could be. He can legitimately be the best wide receiver in the entire NFL, and I long for that. So,
yeah, just mentioned in the same sentence, Pickle gets me excited. I mean, just like JD's saying, and thank you for your service, JD. It's good to see you on cam and on the Friday Free for All again, and good to hear from you too, dude. Thanks for taking the few moments you had to come in here and talk to us. I really appreciate that. And I get excited about the Justin Jefferson comparison too. But Justin Jefferson is only 6'1", 194 pounds. That's not Nalo. No, he's much bigger than that. And the guy is really comfortable catching the ball one-handed. And I'm telling you, he did it over and over and over, snagging that ball out of the air one-handed. And that's what gets me really excited, because those are the types of highlight plays that made Justin Jefferson who he is. And I think that Tetaroa has an opportunity to do the same thing this year with Bryce Young and start on his path to become a similar player in the NFL. The hype is real, and we're just hoping that this man certainly is humble, but he's got to have the work ethic behind it. And we saw him making those statements today about how he's willing to learn from our wide receivers coach. He's not coming in as a diva, a guy that can't be taught, a guy that can't be trained, a guy that can't learn more about his skill and his craft. He's humble coming in saying, yes, I'm learning a lot from Rob Moore, my wide receivers coach, and I'm glad for him to help me along the way, along with my good friend Larry Fitzgerald. He even mentioned that, and Larry gave him a shout out. Larry said, thank you so much for letting me be one of the people that you look up to. And honestly, man, I can't think of anybody better than Larry. I've always been a fan of him, my wife as well. And I'm glad that he looks up to a guy like that, just a stand-up NFL player and a stand-up human being. The sky's the limit for T-Mac, man, and we're all hoping to see it, my friend.
Yes, sir. And you mentioned Larry Fitzgerald. They mentioned him. Larry Fitzgerald saw that and replied, honored. They even said that. This is Ted McMillan. It might be a little hard to hear.
See it, but Larry Fitzgerald said that he was honored that you named him amongst your favorite football players.
No, I saw that.
Yo, you saw that smile? That's a genuine smile right there, bro. He's really happy.
Me and Larry, I've talked to him a few times. We have a good relationship, and I'm sure throughout this whole process and throughout my time in the league, he's gonna be the guy that I can call for anything. A guy that I can lean on just for some wisdom and knowledge. So, Larry, if you watching this, expect a phone call.
Bro,
I love it.
Bro, look, just like my man Diesel Skills has a great energy about him, just like D Money has a great energy about him. My man Jake, bro, Ted McMillan has this easy charisma. Bro, he's so easy to like, man. He's a humble guy, smiling ear to ear. Dude, he just has a great energy about him. And I love that, man. I really, really do love that. Yeah.
Cody, I put a link in the private chat. I don't know that we can show it, but good God, we need to.
All right, I'll look it up in just a sec. First off, let me welcome some more people to the free for all. My friend C-Dog 1983 TV. C-Dog, what's up, brother? How you living, man?
Man, what's going on with everybody, man? Real quick, I hope everybody had a great week. It's Friday, free for all. Please come in here, like and subscribe to the great content. The Panthers Podcast is the longest running Panthers Podcast on YouTube. But real quick, man, hey, I seen some of them clips today of Tech. I'm telling you right now, man, like my man said earlier, man, he looked quicker. He looked kind of quick. Hey, man, we might be a fucking problem, man. And let me say this. Jimmy Horn is legit 4-3.
Amen, brother.
Jimmy Horn was hurt this last season. You know, he was injured. But let me tell you something, man. We finally got some motherfucking speed, man. Speed fucking kills. You know, and if you could put him out there in some packages in the round or reverse, or even just have him going deep, you know, and he has reliable hands, and he's a fucking dog. I'm so happy we got Jimmy Horn, man. Jimmy Horn is my goddamn. I think Jimmy Horn really gonna surprise a lot of people, you know, on offense. I'm super excited, man. I'm ready for the season to start, man.
You know what? We got Cokehead, Jalen Coker, and we got Mr. Speed Jimmy Horn. We're gonna be so damn good. We'll be lucky the FDA don't come and shut training camp down.
Damn. Damn.
Hey, let me say this, man, about XL, man. Got the XL out, got the Kentucky Derby and shit. XL, look, you can't be look, when you out here dropping balls, I don't need you at the fucking Kentucky Derby, motherfucker. You need to be goddamn. You should be in the goddamn country somewhere. You know what I'm saying, with a motherfucking jug machine.
He said he's been working. He said he's been working.
No, Cody, hold on, Cody. He should be somewhere in the fucking country. Only thing he should have is a fucking horse and a fucking jug machine. That's it. when he get done catching fucking footballs, he can ride a fucking horse.
All right.
You know,
I hear you, man.
All the Kentucky Derby shit, you ain't did shit. You ain't accomplished shit. You dropped too many fucking balls for me to be at the goddamn Kentucky Derby. Now that's just my goddamn opinion.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
That's
what a lot of other people said as well. He says that he's been working doubly hard off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and believe him, man. But you're right. He better turn it on this year. Let me welcome into the free for all my bro Ant back on the C3 Panthers podcast. Ant, what's up, brother? How are you, man?
What's up, boys? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. How you feeling about the first look at these Panthers today, man? Everyone from Tet to Jimmy Horn and Jadeveon Clowney, man. Give me some of your initial thoughts.
Yeah, first I'll say, listen, we all got to get used to this, man. His name is not Tet. It's T-Mac Nalo. It's not Tet. He doesn't like being called Tet.
Right. Don't do that.
Yeah, his mama said. You better do what mama said too.
Be violating his mama.
Mama, right?
In all seriousness, yeah, man, the dude is tall. He's silky smooth with his route running. He's a plucker, man. Like, he just grabs the fucking football. This is what I love to see.
He's a plucker.
Yeah.
He's a plucker, bro. How many wide receivers have we had to try to catch the damn ball with their chest, man? That shit doesn't work. I played football for a long time, and you were taught you got to catch the ball with your hand, man. But yeah, Jimmy Horn, bro, that dude's going to be good. He's got to make the roster. I think he will. I mean, that dude's got, like, just pure speed, man. Pure speed.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm always just saying, man, Jimmy Horn going to be a problem this season, man.
All right, listen, C-Dog, I hope he gets some playing time because I think him and Bryce could do something. Man. I really do.
I do too, man.
And as for Clowney, listen, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, Clowney is not all that. That's just the truth.
We didn't need him.
What?
We didn't need him.
Yeah, we didn't need him.
Damn Morgan. Man, we need motherfuckers to get the quarterback. He can't do that no more. We didn't need him. Man, I love this shit, man. Everybody should be fucking excited, man.
He's too old, man. Like just let the young guys run it. The Dave Canales said this, man. They're trying to develop these players. This is something Ron Rivera and got away with for years because we had like elite players at everyone on the defensive. Like we had so many elite players. It's like he was never forced to play. You got to develop these rookies when you're trying to build a team. So I'm okay with this move, man. I mean, Clowney, at this point in his career, he would have really only been situational for us. Like he's only really impactful if he has other guys around him. Yeah. And listen, I said this last night in the Spaces briefly. I don't know if y'all remember I said this, but the strength of the defensive line is going to be the interior this year. So those edge rushers are going to be rookie guys are going to be able to tee off and get one-on-one looks. So we'll get a good idea of how well they're going to develop this year. There's no point for Clowney to be here really to take away reps. They tried trading him. So, I mean, like, listen, and I've heard people say this about Thielen, but I would just keep Thielen. And this, I know this wasn't brought up, but I would just keep Thielen until the October trade deadline. If T-Mac's having a crazy good start and Jimmy Horn's getting in there and Coker takes another step and Legette, like, I would ship off Thielen, man. Like, I think really he's another guy that really only serves a situational purpose.
Oh, you guys, I mean, I got to disagree with you on that because he can teach the young guys the route running, you know. And we still got ball droppers like Excel.
No,
that's what we got Hunter Renfro for, dog. That's what Hunter Renfro is for.
Adam, look, I knew this was going to be brought up. Adam Thielen's not going to go nowhere this year unless he wants to be gone. I'm sorry.
But my whole point.
Yep.
C-Dog,
go ahead.
C-Dog. No, we drafted T-Mac for the I'm not even going to get into that combo because it's controversial. But yes, Hunter Renfro's here too. Like, there's also too many guys. Like, someone's gonna get left off the roster. Like, two of the guys are gonna get left off.
Yeah, true.
So,
no, you're right. Hey, let me welcome in from the Black Cat Panther Podcast, my bro Poppin', back on the free for all. Pop, what up, bro?
What up? Bang, 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 bang.
Bang, chillin'. What's up?
So yeah, I mean, well, good to see y'all boys once again.
Yeah, man. Good to see you too, bro.
I wasn't able to be on the last. What's up, Pickle? And everybody else talked to Pickle earlier. Yeah, well, I gotta get on you, C-Dog. C-Dog, the Xavier Legette, the reason why he was even out there because look at him as our horse ambassador. Okay, he was invited. Hold on, C-Dog. You had your turn.
Let him finish.
You had your turn. I was quiet the whole time while you were talking. He was quiet because he wasn't in here. Hold on, C-Dog. I was quiet the whole time. I was here. I was quiet. I had my mic muted. He was invited to come out there, man. So he's putting on for the Panthers. Now, I know that none of us, even though we're not millionaires, unless y'all are millionaires, I don't know y'all pockets.
Nah, son.
But there's it's 24 hours in a day. Nobody's expecting this man to sit here and catch the ball 24 hours a day. So he had some drops, but he wasn't the most dropped wide receiver, and he played two different positions. So I mean, give the man some slack, man. You know what I mean? He was a rookie, bro. Like we got to chill on the Xavier Legette. He gonna do better, bro. You know that's why they picked up that's why they got him when they got him because they know he's gonna take some time to develop. So like, let's chill out on the Xavier Legette. Like, hey,
bro, when's the last time the Panthers got so many people like talking about them? When's the last time we had any player that was even worthy to be put in videos? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, this is good for us, and he has a good personality, bro.
He's humble, man. He comes from nothing.
Hey, I'm not really.
Man, I don't give a fuck. He dropped the
Everybody, every wide receiver drops ball. Devontae Adams, when he came out, he had a drop ball issue.
So real quick. Jalen Coker was an undrafted free agent. He ain't drop a goddamn ball. You don't see him, man. Jalen Coker right now putting in that motherfucking work.
The problem is,
No. Jalen Coker is a better receiver right now. He putting in the fucking work. Jalen Coker motherfucking goddamn that bullshit in Kentucky. That's why he
But
gonna be better than that motherfucker again this year.
See though, but don't we need to give him another year before we judge them outright though?
He didn't have a drop. He didn't have a drop problem. He didn't have a drop problem in college, and this is not who dick bigger than who's around here. You know what I'm saying? The man got to develop, bro. So like we got to stop. Like,
man, he hasn't done anything to be going to the fucking Kentucky Derby. Man, Ken Lewis went to the Kentucky Derby. He took us to the fucking Super Bowl.
If you was invited to the Kentucky Derby,
real quick, that same thing when I got the fucking rookie for the New York Giants, talking about you gonna got the Lawrence Taylor number. Man, you ever seen
that was wild. That was pretty wild.
Why are you yelling?
That's two different things.
Why are you yelling?
He ain't done shit. He was dropping fucking balls.
Why are you yelling?
He should be at the goddamn Kentucky Derby.
Hey, let me say this.
He got invited to the Kentucky Derby.
Go ahead. Hold up, see. Let me let you in. Go ahead.
All right, so listen. So a lot of you guys know, or at least the C3 guys. I don't know if I spoke to Poppin about this, but I was very neutral on the Legette pick when he got taken. But I will say in favor of Legette, Deontay Johnson was supposed to be the one last year.
Right.
So he was forced into a situation where he wasn't ready for it. And this year he's gonna have every opportunity to earn that spot, like the two. Because I mean, we drafted T-Mac pretty high. I'm assuming he's going to get a lot of targets. So Legette's going to have his chance to earn his full-time role here. So I even though I'm a little, I agree with C-Dog. It was disappointing in some aspects, but we do have to give him time. I will say that because last year he was not supposed to play the X. He's not. I don't think that's his natural position. I think he's more of a Z guy. He's right. He's more of a
I don't care. Listen, okay, real quick. He is a receiver. He's supposed to catch the ball. The game against the Eagles, he is wide the fuck open. You gotta catch the fucking ball. His job is to catch the fucking ball.
Oh, okay.
So
you gonna
he be wide open. Come on, what are we talking about?
So you gonna hate him for the rest of his life. You should probably don't turn your phone on and look at no Panther content because Xavier Legette gonna be there.
I tell you what, he come out. He come out this year again, ball dropping. His ass ain't got worried about being here no more. Cause Dan Morgan ain't playing that shit. Jimmy Warren, somebody else go get his fucking reps.
Yeah. Go ahead, Penguin.
C-Dog, I understand what you're saying because it's quite aggravating when you're watching the game or you're at a game and he runs down the field. He's open. This catch will secure the win, and you're and everybody's waiting, and all of a sudden it goes through his arm and he drops it. I understand that. I really do, brother. But one thing I have to convince myself, whether I like it or not, or I like him or not, XL's going to be here next year, and he's going to line up at the number 2 wide receiver spot, while T-Mac's probably going to be at the number 1 spot.
Exactly.
And Adam or Coker one's going to be in the slot. That's just how it's going to be, whether we like it or not like it. So I'm going to hope and pray, and I'm going to convince myself that XL is going to do a better job. Why? Because he has a lot more eyes on him. Yeah. He has a lot more attention on him. And listen, this all could blow clear up. Because like you said, if he comes out there and he keeps dropping these balls and he gets his ass benched, all this attention he's been given ain't going to mean jack shit.
Can I add this too?
There's a lot of horses in the stable now.
To Pickle's point.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. But we ain't gotta lose our top just because he had some drop balls. I mean, damn.
Right, exactly.
You're about to bust a whole blood vessel in his neck.
Yeah, let me let you in. Go ahead.
I want to add to Pickle. Yes, we've seen how not stubborn. What's the word? This front office is very they move fast. They made this wide receiver room deep for a reason. If Excel doesn't improve, we have other guys waiting to take his job.
Right.
Coker, we don't know how. I mean, someone, C-Dog says he likes Coker a lot. Coker could be really good. It's all about who's doing the most when given their opportunity. So, yes, I personally, Excel had a disappointing rookie season. He's got to prove himself. But I think the upside for us here is it's not like Mingo, where it's like, oh, Mingo doesn't pan out. We don't really have anyone. We have options now. So there's a ton that can happen here. Obviously, we need him to pan out because then we got a bunch of good-ass weapons, man. We haven't had that in years.
There you go. That great comment, Ant, because we got a good problem, right? But like I'm just saying to C-Dog, you got to have some patience, man, because Devontae Adams, you didn't hear nobody from Green Bay, getting that upset. And Devontae Adams dropped a whole lot of balls his rookie year.
That's a great point.
Give the man some time. There's a lot of people that's been fucking up on our team, but some of them need time. That's why they drafted where they drafted him, went back up to get him, to give him a 5th year for him to develop. And I don't
remember, and hold on, let me add on to that, Pop. Hold on, C-Dog. Let me add on to that, on to what Pop was saying. Bro, do y'all remember how bad everyone hated Chuba Hubbard year 1 for all them damn drop passes that he had? Bro, look how far he has come as a receiver at the running back position. When you look last year, bro, it was not like opposing corners were shutting down XL. The dude is physical, he's strong as hell, and he's a good route runner. And I think he does have some high-end athleticism. I think he's a little bit faster than Nalo, than T-Mac. And I do think that we haven't even scratched the surface of his potential. So, C-Dog, you are not wrong at all whatsoever. He cost us some big-time games last year. And y'all remember a year or two ago when I was like, Bryce Young shouldn't have went to that CJ Stroud shouldn't have went to that white party because I felt like the optics weren't that good. But then CJ balled out that year. I do admit that if you're going to be out in the open, if you're going to do videos, you have to be a badass in 2025. So,
well, I do want to say, we got to stop with that, though. I agree. Whatever they do in their personal life, I mean, I joke about it, too. Why is Legette, he's dropping balls, why is he here? But, man, these guys, like Pop said, they're grown-ass men. They got millions of bucks. There's nothing we can do.
I'm just going off what Cody just gave the perfect example. CJ Stroud came out there and fucking balled out. Everybody was talking about God that he was at the all-white party, even me. You know what I'm saying? But he came out, balled out, set everybody the fuck up. So when you come out and fucking ball, you set motherfuckers up. That's what I'm saying. Legette was out here dropping fucking balls. You don't need to be at the fucking Kentucky Derby and got the Louis Vuitton, goddamn jean outfits. And
he had that nowhere because he got some balls.
Yeah, he ain't
supposed to go nowhere.
Man. But I will say though,
don't you go nowhere because you drop some balls.
Yo, but you know what?
If I was XL and I had the money that he's making and I wanted to go somewhere, I wouldn't give a rat's fuck what the Panther fans said. If I wanted to go, I'd go. Now, if I know that I went somewhere and the team was all right and the fans would get pissed off, I'd put it on camera just to piss them off. Because it would be cool to do that.
Well, you love to piss people off, don't you?
I mean,
you know what?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. He didn't get to bite that 24-karat gold bacon. That's all.
Man,
I
don't even eat bacon, sir. I don't
eat squirrel. Eat some squirrel.
Man, stop it, man. This man out here in Louis Vuitton
and relax.
Out here in ostrich boots, ostrich belt. You ain't out here catching the ball.
Y'all trying to pull pork.
He was out there with dime piece.
Come on, man. Kel Newton was balling.
All right, let's move on.
Y'all haven't lived until you've had a pulled raccoon sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, raccoon's pretty good. Raccoon is pretty good. Raccoon's pretty good. Possum's pretty nasty. I don't really like possum. Possum's pretty nasty, but raccoon's pretty good.
I have never had any of them. I have family members who tell me that squirrel.
They ain't enough meat on the squirrel
meat.
That's why they make it gravy.
But I heard that it is pretty damn good though. I'm just saying I've heard.
It really depends on how you fix it.
You can't give C-Dog no squirrel because he gonna go nuts.
I see what you did there. Yeah, man.
I'm saving all my possum for Twan anyway.
Say all that. I know XL, but not come out here and be dropping the fucking ball this year. I know
No,
that.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, man, listen, I wanted to bring this up to y'all. The Panthers were rumored. I don't know how much legitimacy there was to this, but that maybe Kevon Thibodeaux could be a trade possibility for the Panthers. Now that we have moved on from Jadeveon Clowney, how likely is this to happen?
None. Not a zero.
I agree
None?
with that as well. I don't think slim to none. I'm not gonna say there's
I-
a total.
I wouldn't doubt that a Giant fan started this rumor because they want to get picks. There's been no reports that the Giants are shopping him.
They picked up this 5th-year option, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they picked it up,
Yeah, they
and if
did.
they picked it up, they would have no business. They would have no desire to trade him because once they pick it up, somebody has to pay that. He still gets that 5th-year money, and
we did
no
the same
teams
thing with
want-
Brian Burns.
Yeah, once they pick it up, what are they going to do? Tell somebody else, oh, yeah, but we picked up this 5th-year option, so you get to pay this, but we want you to send us picks. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
But we did the same thing with Brian Burns.
Yeah, but what that situation with Burns was that we knew when we did that we were going to trade him, so therefore it allowed the other team to negotiate and work that out. And Brian Burns come off a better year than Thibodeaux ever has.
Well,
Sorry
I heard
to say that.
The rumor was that they were trying to trade Clowney for Thibodeaux and possibly future pick and bring Thibodeaux here. And then they were trying to trade with the 49ers as well because the 49ers are trying to find somebody to line up with their defensive end. But I do got to call Cody out a little bit.
Come on, bro.
If I remember, didn't you say Clowney was better than Brian Burns?
You thinking of white chocolate,
think
but
so.
yeah, I don't remember.
Was that not you?
No, that sounds like some white chocolate espresso
Don't
machine,
ask me
bro.
my expectations on Clowney. Don't.
No. We got to go back. Who said it? Somebody step up.
Yeah, that was white chocolate espresso, bro.
I'm gonna say,
Remember.
I think that was white chocolate.
Yeah,
itself.
but remember, he's a South Carolina fan.
Yeah.
And he's really, and he's really pissed off.
Yeah,
He's really pissed off that we did let him go. So
Why would you be
had
upset when he's
10
asking
sacks
for
last
more
season.
money? He's asking for more money and then hit his incentives.
yeah,
So
and
you
he
still
didn't
want the
want to
bank
take a
to
pay
get
cut.
You want more money? More money for what?
Yeah, what White Chocolate said
go.
on Twitter, he said I would have paid Clowney his money.
Nah,
He
man.
wanted more
White
money.
Chocolate, dumb as
He
fuck.
wanted
I mean,
more
hold on.
money.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that.
What you saying? What you saying?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
It's a
to
white
say
chocolate.
that. Oh my God.
Hey, man,
sorry.
what?
He's-
Hey,
White
let me
Chocolate
let me
don't know
welcome in.
football.
Hey, bro, let me welcome in some people. We got Surfside Steve back on the free for all. Steve, how are you, brother?
Oh, doing fine. Listening to you guys. I got all my chores done.
Yes, sir.
So I
Good
can
job.
hang out now.
Yeah, man. How you
He
feel
sound like he
about?
to get a whooping if he do them chores?
Hey, man, how you feel about Jadeveon Clowney being let go from the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, I got a whole list for you guys. Okay. Well, I think it was a great move because we want to see the kids, of course, and I think they're up for it. And we need a safety or a cornerback, and that money can go somewhere else much more valuable. I like Clowney a lot, though, but it's just time. It's just his time.
Yeah. Okay.
But you got to
Yeah.
keep Adam. You got to keep AT though. Thielen is still a man though. I can't see him going this whole year unless he wants to really leave on his own because he is so valuable to that wide receiver room and such stability. Because Coker is a good guy, but he's still a new guy. XL still
True.
trying to figure it out. I think he will, but he's so there's so many things up in the air that we need Adam just like to be in the middle, like a pillar that they all can lean on.
No, that's
Yes,
a great
sir. I
point
totally
too.
agree.
And is that veteran presence that I feel like everyone needs. He was a great addition around XL and Jalen Coker last year. I agree, man. Keep Thielen as long as possible and see how he can help these younger players. Let me welcome in Locks Main to the Friday Free For All. Locks, what up, bro? Big Locks Main, you with me?
What's good?
What's
What's
up,
good,
brother?
though, dog? What's good? What's good?
How you feeling, brother? Locks
Say it
Man,
again.
how you feeling? Yeah, man, how you feel about the Panthers letting go of Jadeveon Clowney, bro?
Oh, I mean, I really ain't have a big problem with it. Like I said, when was that last week? I would have kept them based off, training camp. I mean, you always could have cut them later on, but I thought him teaching well, at least being around the young guys and providing depth. You know what I mean? Because you never know what happening. I would have kept him, but they released him. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, you are not wrong. Next up, we got my friend from the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. He is a popular Panthers YouTuber. Check him out. It's my man, Twan Don. Twan, what's up, bro?
Yeah. What's good? What's good? How y'all feeling, man? Good evening, C3 Nation.
Good evening, brother. Happy to have you back on the free for all,
I
man.
said good evening, C3 Nation.
Good evening, bro. Let's go.
Shit.
Twan, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man.
Good to hear, brother. Good to hear.
Yeah.
How you feel about the Panthers releasing Jadeveon Clowney, man?
Well, I told y'all last week. Give me my credit. I told y'all last week to release it. That's like it
Yeah, you
doesn't
did
fit,
say that.
man. I said doesn't fit. He ain't gonna be trying to train nobody to replace him. And word is out that he's bitter as hell now. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, man. We made the right move.
Yeah. And listen, I said this earlier, man. I love the youth movement. How many coaches have we had in the past where we were begging them to play the young players? Now this is literally what they're doing. So I love it. I'm into it. Twan, your microphone's sort of choppy. I don't know
Yeah,
if you want to. I don't know if you want to come in and come out. See if maybe
I'll
that.
come back in.
Yeah, man.
Well, hold
See if maybe-
on. I think I know what it is. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, man. Did anyone else want to touch on Kevon Thibodeaux and how likely this is? And
All right, Cody, how about now?
Man,
yeah,
we don't
much
need
better,
that.
much better, much better, much
There you
better.
We're gonna get we don't need that motherfucker, man. We got now Pat Jones about to be playing goddamn DJ Warner. You know what I'm saying? And everybody had
True.
these young dogs coming off the bench for Warner and goddamn Patrick Jones. I'm super excited for the defense, man.
Same.
Everybody out there on every road this, every road that. Man, I think every road gonna have a top 5, top 10 defense. He just really ain't had no pieces.
Okay, what if he don't coach right?
Let me say this one thing. You can say what you gotta say. My only thing I was mad with Everroad is that he didn't play Jeremy Chin, or he felt that he didn't have a role for Jeremy Chin. We should have played Jeremy Chin at strong safety and just been done with that, But besides that, that's my only problem with Everroad. But now he has plenty of pieces on his chessboard to move around. We got Ransom. Man, I'm so excited for Ransom.
Same, bro.
Mornowing. Man, I'm super excited, man. They be bringing back both our corners in the same system. Then Bryce Young is gonna be in the same system, again, then with Thielen, who can teach these young receivers. Maybe we gotta keep Thielen, man. We gotta keep them, around to teach these young receivers. But I'm super excited, man, for Jimmy Horn, everybody, man. I'm excited. If Bryce Young can come out here and continue to play at a high level with his defense playing good, then you gotta think JC Horn still had good numbers, but out of pass rush. So we should be very deadly this year, man.
I 100% agree. And I'm a big believer that we need to see an entire season of DJ Warnham fully healthy. I feel like when that guy got back on the field, he was a disruptor. And I want to see what he's able to do with the full year of health. Let me ask y'all this, and I'm going to go around to everyone on this issue. Now that we have an extra $7.8 million to spend, what do we do with this? What does this money need to go towards now that we have that money to spend. I'm going to start with my man Diesel Skills. Deez, where would you like to see Dan Morgan aim this new salary cap dollars at?
Yeah, I mean, just the $7 million is enough to sign the entire rookie class. So it may go to that itself. But a lot of Panthers fans are feeling like it's going to go to Blackman to come in and actually play free safety for us because he made a visit, and then we haven't heard anything since. So maybe he's like waiting a little later to join. We've seen veterans do this before with the Panthers. They wait a little later so they don't have to do all the OTA activity and just simply do the training camp itself. So it could be a guy like Blackman, or it could be a cornerback that we haven't really discussed. We've talked about some of them that are available, and it could go that direction. But I think those are the two biggest needs. If they did something like a tackle signing, that would also make sense. But other than that, Cody, those are the three positions I'm looking at that the Panthers still need. That's cornerback, safety, and possible tackle.
Yes, sir. And by the way, tomorrow is Tim Stilling's birthday. Happy birthday from C3 Panther Nation, brother. Keep pounding. As you know, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man, Jake, what say you, man? Where would you like to see this money go towards? And by the way, I'm hearing someone's speaker in the background. Please mute your microphone until you're ready to talk. Go ahead, Jake.
I think the money's going to go towards either they're going to sit on it. I know a lot of people don't like that answer, but they could potentially sit on it in case an injury later down the road. Who knows? But they could also use it for Julian Blackman. I know that's the name that a lot of people have been saying that they've actually talked to in the past. Could be for that. Could be for corner. I mean, we definitely need a cornerback 3 or 4 in case JC or Mike Jack goes down. You never know what happens. So, I mean, that's the routes I see them going with that, using that money.
Yeah, man, not a bad route to move in. Like I said, lots of options. Popping bullets. What say you, man? We have $7.8 million. Are we just spending this on the draft class, or is Dan Morgan cooking up something special?
I think the best thing they can do is deposit in my bank account. I mean, obviously.
Damn. All right.
That'll be the best thing to do. But if they
That would
don't
be pretty
decide to
tight.
take, right, and I'm gonna break you off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
If they don't decide to do that, at first I was thinking about a free safety, but after Nick Tri-State, shout out to him, he did some research, and he looked at Ransom playing free safety. He had over 400 something snaps at Ohio State last year playing free safety. I think we found our free safety guys. I think that's what he's going to be playing. I think the best thing to do is probably go try to find you the best corner you could find for that $7 million. Of course, I mean, unfortunately, we don't have the type of money issues Cincinnati has because they can't seem to pay their players, their rookies, or their first rounders. So I'm pretty sure they're allocated somewhere. But I would probably try to find another corner just in case, somebody go down.
Yeah. To me, the depth in the cornerback room is probably one of the thinnest in terms of the roster. So, yeah, to me, it's most logical to assume that they're probably going to try and do something back there. Still a bunch of different options. Surfside Steve, we have $7.8 extra million to spend. Where do you think that money would be best utilized?
Changing the field to real grass would be a good idea.
Yeah, there we go. That's an answer for it,
Right?
bro.
You like that, right?
I love that one.
Secondary, right? Secondary safety, maybe even a linebacker or something. A linebacker depth.
Yeah.
But I think the front's looking good, but we have to get the back looking good. But I want them to hold on to the money until they make the right deal. I think they're very cautious. They know what they're doing, so I'm sure whoever they pick up will be. It may not work out, but it'll be a smart move, though, in general.
Yeah. No, 100%. Let me go to Panther Pickle. Pickle, where do you think that extra $7.8 million should be spent?
Toward a corner, maybe a safety, but more of a corner, I think. I know people's going to scream, we need a middle linebacker. I kind of agree, but the middle linebacker you go get is going to be a fourth middle linebacker, not a third and not a second or not a starter, unless somebody gets injured, of course, because they did sign Roseboom, so he's going to be your third off the bench linebacker anyway. And then you have, if you go look at the depth chart, you'll easily see that you have Jackson, and you have Horn, and then you have Chow Smith-Wade. And beyond that, you have a bunch of no-names who nobody knows their names. Nobody can identify where they, it's a bad situation overall with depth at corner. And with the injury issues that J.C. Horn has, God help us, either one of those three go down. Ransom can play maybe a little bit of nickel, but you really don't want him in playing corner all the entire game. So it's by far more of an issue than I think safety is, because at safety you have three. If you count Ransom and DeMonte Richardson, you have three probable starters there, not even counting Nick Dumbass Scott. So,
I wouldn't count him at all.
I don't.
Phillips made a great point. We're really only slim at corner.
Yeah, we have to get a corner.
History. We need a corner. We need corner over safety. And I think the Mike Richardson, him, like you said, we can't play him with both. We go vice versa with him and Ransom.
Right?
Yeah.
Pop him out. I totally agree, Panther.
Yeah, 100%. C-Dog, where do you think that money needs to go, man? $7.8 million.
Yeah, corner, just like Pickle said, corner, because I feel the same way. We already know Trevor, and that's another thing, man. Everybody, I like with Ransom, if you can bring him down and play him, in some of these packages, we can play the Mighty Richardson, Ransom, and Trevor.
Right.
So our biggest need is going to be at corner, just because of the JC injury history, like Panther was saying. I think everything else around the board on defense, we're fine with depth. D-line, linebacker, everything. We just need cornerback depth.
Same. I think we're pretty much in agreement on that. We definitely need more cornerback depth. Pop, I'm going to ask Pop. Let me go to Twan. Twan, what did you say about this $7.8 million, bro? How do we need to use this?
I think we just got the best draft that we ever had on paper. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a draft like this. So I'm investing in my future, man. I'm paying the rooks.
Yeah. That's seems like
They the future. They're the future. They'll remember.
I'm surprised no one has mentioned extending Taylor Moton yet. Because extending Taylor Moton could free up even more money for us.
No, it won't.
I don't bring it up because I don't think if they're going to extend them, it's going to be after a year.
Long term, it wouldn't help us. It'll just add. All you're doing by extending it is add the money later on, and
to pay it later.
You got to let this contract play out.
Yeah, and you're just adding the money later on. So we can do. I mean,
just this year.
This is just this year. Just this year, and if you go down and you look at him, I mean, he's 31 years old. He did have some knee issues in the past. He still plays a game, and credit to him for being tough. But you don't necessarily know whether that's hurting him or not. According to Joe Person, it is. His cap number this year is $31 million. That's not what he's making, but that's his cap number is $31.3 million. Now, if you extend that, what are you going to do? Give him 2 or 3 years, so when he reaches 33, 34 years old, he's going to have a cap number of about 40-some million? I mean, that doesn't make no sense. So the Panthers are doing the right thing, even if it's not popular with the fan base, to allow him to work this year. At the end of this year, then you talk to him, and or Dan Morgan and Brandon Tillis can talk with the agent, because let's be real, Taylor Moton don't handle this shit. He lets his agent do it all the work.
Most players
and
don't.
If his agent says bend over backward and kiss your ass, Taylor Moton says, all right, you the boss, I'll try, and that's what he's gonna do. So And a lot of players are like that, and that's just how they want it. That's what.
Well, actually, Taylor Moton would be telling his agent to do that.
Well, yeah, but if his agent says do that, and Taylor Moton does it, that I mean, that's
Do y'all think that there's any way? Because I've heard multiple analysts say that extending Taylor Moton could free up a little more money.
Well,
this year.
could.
It's kicking the can, bro. It's kicking the can.
Kicking the can backward. It's like if you owe $1,000 on a credit card and you go get a loan off your bank to pay off that $1,000 credit card, you're going to clear money off that credit card and you'll be able to use it. Now you also have $1,000 that you have to pay on a bank loan, but we ain't talking about that. You talk about that loan 2 months from now when the payment's due.
You gotta go ahead and pay your rookies, man. Set your rookies up. Taylor Moton, we have to after this year. You have to worry. He has to worry about somebody else paying him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me go to Jake real quick. Go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say, worst thing come to shove, they could just franchise tag him if they really want to keep him. Like,
man, that's even more money.
I don't think it's not over 30 million. I'm pretty sure it's still below that.
I ain't paying that shit. I ain't paying that. I ain't franchise.
Oh, and I'm not, Antoine, I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying they have that option. Like, if they have to, that they can use that option.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in that Belichick method of getting rid of a player soon before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? And
He still playing.
he's showing signs that he about to be up out of here.
I don't know. I mean,
You want to know what the franchise tag is for an offensive tackle?
25 million.
23 million this year.
Okay.
You mentioned. Yeah, go ahead, Pop.
I think all our rookies have signed except for one, and that's Scourton.
Two.
It's two of them.
So yeah, I mean,
Scourton and the running back, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor Etienne. So I think with that $7 million, I think we already have the money to sign him. I think the $7 million is extra money.
Because we good in cap.
We are.
I mean, reality right now,
like $40 million somewhere around there.
Yeah, we got 23 million,
and we could free more if we actually need more.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey,
real quick, while we're talking about cap, y'all, let me clear something up real quick. If you cut Shay Tuttle right now, and I don't like Shay. He might have come from Tennessee, but he's taking his funky ass back to Tennessee, to be honest about it. No, actually, he can take his funky ass down there to Tampa or to the Saints or to.
Let's not boast of the division rivals. No.
Yeah. Oh no, fuck that.
There you go, Cody.
Anyway, they need to be the starting. They need to be the starting defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons.
Did y'all really think Shay was that bad, or was it also?
Nah, Tuttle helped us out, man. So he ain't going nowhere.
That's what I'm going to say.
But remember, there was also
he ain't got to play though.
There was no Derrick Brown last year, which was supposed to be a key component in having Shay Tuttle.
Well, we'll see how all that shit works out.
He restructured twice, bro.
but right now, if you cut Shay Tuttle right now today, you're going to be negative $825,000 in your cap.
Pretty much
negative. You're not set now. If you want to cut him as a June, if you want to wait till after June, or you want to cut him, you're going to save $2.4 million, but you're also going to have $3.3 million in dead cap. So you're actually going backwards doing that. Reality is it's going to be, and he's a last year under contract. Reality is throw his ass back there at depth somewhere, and you're going to have to inactivate somebody at the end of the year anyway. Now come at the end of this year, or come in training camp. If you want to go ahead and eat that $3.3 million, you could, and you just eat that shit. I mean, they ate a bunch of dead cap last year, cut people that should have never got the contracts they made.
So
life happens.
These are skills. You brought up a name in the chat that maybe we should be considering. Someone that we have some experience with. Why don't you float that name out there?
Yeah, I just saw whispers online about maybe Gilmore being a target for the Carolina Panthers. I don't even know his situation with the Colts or if he's available, but from what I saw online, apparently he is. And because he's from the area, he might be one of the guys that we're looking at to bring in. He certainly would add depth to the cornerback room and possibly start over Mike Jackson as well, or just be depth there. I'm not sure, but it was something I heard whispers about. Could it be Gilmore? And
I've seen it too, D's. I've seen it too.
As far as
I mean, hey, Gilly still got it though.
I love that.
Skills, I know you just
I'll taste this like Gilmore right now.
Skills. I know you're just a messenger, so I'm not mad at you. But from my personal opinion, I don't want another fossil on that team when we're doing a youth moment.
Nah, Gilly still got it, Pop. Gilly still got it.
He can still got it. He can.
He's just a wedge, man. Hey, Pop, you gotta look at it like this. He's just a wedge until next draft. Then we get a boss corner. We get a boss corner in the next draft.
It would only be a 1-year deal regardless.
Yeah, it's just a 1 year.
Y'all, I'm gonna throw my 3 cents in there because I'm Panther Pickle and I'm worth 1 more cent than everybody else. So,
Damn Pickle.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Think how don't you?
Well, somebody got to. So, my 3 cents is I agree with Pop. If you can get somebody else, get them. And before anybody tells me about Samuels Jr., let's be real. The reason why he's still available in free agency because he might play corner, but he damn sure can't tackle. We got offensive linemen that can tackle better than he can.
That is coming off an injury, I believe.
Well, we got to teach him how to tackle.
Yeah, okay. We tried that last year.
I'm just good on that. We're in a use. If we're not worried about somebody being the starter right now, why we can't just get somebody who we can develop into?
Anybody we get is just going to be a bridge.
I need to find that post. They were planning to bring in 3 corners. I saw it on Twitter and shared it. But I can't remember. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah, I'm cool.
14 players coming into tryouts. 14, that's a lot. And it was only 16 UDFAs or 19, something like that. So we had just as many tryouts as we did UDFAs coming in. Right. So
that's probably what we're going to go after next year's draft first. The corner, center. But we're going to get a top corner next year. Linebacker.
That it could be quarterback, depending on how things play out.
Well, yeah, I'm trying not to go there yet.
Or linebacker. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go there tonight.
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
About Moton, I think what I would do is that I would leave his contract as is this new big contract and give him a new deal halfway through the season if he's healthy and playing good. If he looks like he's washed up, then we'll part ways or whatever at the end of the season or then negotiate. But if he's looking good and he's healthy, I would give him some money mid-season starting next year. This way, this year's crazy contract will run out, and then we'll be back to normal contracts with demand.
I mean, Moton basically had his best year last year.
Every year for Moton's a good year, though.
Yeah.
Really,
he's had a solid career. Like he really has had a solid career.
Knees or no knees.
Good knees. Yeah. Joe Person brought up his knee issue, but he only in his career with the Panthers, he only missed 2 games with that knee problem. So I don't know why Joe Person brought it up.
He's a dog.
I'm like, all right. I mean, maybe it's worse than I know of. I don't know, but
he can play to 40 years old. It just depends on how his body holds up.
Right, and a lot of it. 30. Yeah, the reality is a lot of it may be determined whether he re-signs here. Is he happy here with the direction of the team, and is he will listen? Dan Morgan ain't overpaying anybody. They can hang that shit clear up. Dan Morgan don't play that way.
That's the great Tillis.
Dan Tillis, whoever it is.
I'm on the board of saying find a way to bring Moton back. He's going to go down in history as one of the best linemen we've ever had.
I agree,
man.
Homegrown too, right?
I would not be afraid to do that if they can bring him back. So I trust Brandon Tillis and how he writes his contracts. I really do. I
Yeah,
just
tell us don't fuck around, bro. Like, look, if you ain't gonna sign it, all right. Well, good luck
have a
with your
nice
next
life.
team.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's how he
exactly what
was.
it is.
That's how he was in Kansas City as well.
I'm gonna tell you what he's gonna do. He's gonna pull out this nice vanilla folder. He's gonna have nothing but pictures in it. And the first picture he pulls out, you say, "You see Shaq." Second picture, you see who else he's gonna pull out? He's gonna pull out a couple people.
Clowney.
And so I wanted to ask y'all this before we wind it down. Who do you think is going to be the odd man out in this stacked receiver room? So, you have guys at the very end of the list. Jacoby George. We have son of Panther legend, Moose Muhammad. I'm going to go around to each one of you. Who do you think is going to end up being the odd man out? Could it be Hunter Renfrow?
Undrafted free agents?
Huh?
Oh, you just talking about the wide receiver room, period.
No, I mean just period. Some people think Hunter Renfrow is the
wide
odd man
receiver.
out. Some people think that Adam Thielen is ultimately going to be the odd man out if we ended up trading him.
So how many receivers are we keeping?
That's a good question. How many y'all think?
I'm definitely taking 7. I'm taking 7.
I think it's 6 or 7. Either so.
I hope
can,
they keep 7,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna be 6 ultimately.
I think it's gonna be.
Go ahead.
I think it's gonna be 7. The reason why I say I think it's gonna be 7 because Jimmy Horn they're gonna label him as a special teamer and put him underneath that blanket, but they're gonna still use him to get snaps as a wide receiver on the field too as well. Because I've already seen rumors saying that they're trying to fast track him to move up into a starting role as wide receiver. So if that's to be true, you can kind of hide him on the roster as a special teamer and still carry 7 wide receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
he would be the 7. Basically.
Yeah. I just all right. If I'm going to calculate to 7, I'm going to say T-Mac, XL, Adam.
I was just about to do that. Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and throw in Renfro. But then that still leaves one more. So I'm going to just pick one. I'm going to say because Jacoby George was spotted today on a picture working with the jugs machine with Chuba Hubbard and with Chuba Hubbard on the jug. Or he was working on the jugs machine.
Jacoby George.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he better be doing nothing but working on that damn jugs machine if he's going to have a shot at this wide receiver room, man. That
would be 7.
Stacked,
so that would be 7. That would be my 7.
Man. Like I kind of feel like some of y'all are sleeping on David Moore. I mean, David Moore's done some.
David Moore ain't going no damn where.
I'm never going to pick David Moore. So
He was solid for us, bro.
Good last year, I never picked him, and I ain't never going to pick him this year. So.
David Moore was solid. He was solid last year, bro.
Go ahead, C-Dog.
XL might be the odd man out, man. I'm telling you,
smoking dope.
What?
Dropping balls again.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
You are wild for that, bro.
In reality, the odd man out could be Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, I agree with Pickle on that. If Hunter can't get, like, if he doesn't look like he can get back to who he was, I think he'll be the one that takes the fall.
No,
but
catch the ball.
If he looks anything, but I want this for you too, Cody. If he looks anything like he did, come in, bruh. He could be a problem.
That's what I'm saying, bro. People forget he was a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Yeah.
Derwin James said that he was one of the best wide receivers that he's ever had to go against. Bro, if this dude is able to come
He's
back,
sneaky good, bro. He's sneaky.
Man,
right? He gets open.
Bro, he could be especially with a quarterback like Bryce, they could be a real problem together, man.
So I think
Jody,
the battle. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Cody, I was just reminding Cody before we get out of here. Don't forget to show my clip. I want everybody to see. So
all right.
Go ahead.
I think that the battle is Hunter Renfrow and Moore. I think that's going to be the true battle between the two. because 4 of these guys are locked in, no matter what you say. Xavier Legette, T-Mac, Thielen, and Coker. Those guys are locked already. And then what we're saying about Jimmy Horn, he looked like he's the number 5 slot. Okay,
Right.
so it's really between Renfro and Moore. And if one of these 2 undrafted free agents come out here and show you something now, I like Hudson. I think he's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby George, I have to worry about his personality, attitude issues, because he had some issues in school about that. Probably
Man,
why
that
he
man
didn't
didn't
get
make it the
drafted.
scene.
He's a problem child.
Yeah, he might have a little issues, man. But that doesn't mean that he can't fall into the practice squad. But
Oh yeah.
Hudson, man, he's man, y'all gotta go, bro. This dude is nice from UCF. Man, gets yak. He's tall. He runs great routes. Got speed. He's like 6'2". I mean, I think he's 6'1", but he's still he can do it all. So I think they're gonna stash one of those guys on the practice squad and try to develop him. But it's gonna
Guys,
be
I'm
the
telling
battle.
you,
Like I said, it's Moore and Renfro is gonna be the battle.
I don't think David Moore is on the chopper, but he was solid last year. I
He
don't
was
think
solid. I'm
Moore.
not taking.
I don't think he got to worry about nothing.
Anybody who caught the ball last season don't have to worry about anything. But
Everybody caught a
XL,
ball last season. Everybody caught a ball.
no, anybody who wasn't dropping the ball.
Hey,
Let me rephrase that.
Everybody dropped the
Yeah.
ball last year.
Hey, Cody, I showed that earlier. Yeah, he out of breath
That's a man.
already.
Wow.
God,
He is out of breath. I'm saying breath with F. Breath.
Is it break time yet?
Yeah.
Damn. Hey man, shout out to Kitty Lit Zio. Y'all check him out on YouTube. He's a great Panthers content creator. Said had so much going on today, so about to go back and listen from the beginning. Hopefully I can make it next week. Keep pounding, y'all. Appreciate you, Alex. Yeah, man, you were
Who's that
great
out of
on the
breath?
free for all. Great on the free for all last Friday, man. Can't wait to have you back. Yeah, man. Listen, this has been a fantastic show, man. Ton of people coming in, ton of great opinions. I love it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get everyone's final thoughts for the free for all here tonight. I appreciate everyone's participation. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. For
Yeah, you
every
get out here
single
early.
time. Yeah, bro. You know I got some Friday night plans, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Man, I just put in 6 hours. You got it.
come on, man. Shit.
30 minutes early?
Yeah, I mean, hey, bro. You know I got some plans on
You
Friday
getting
night, bro.
slack. Cody getting slack.
Hey, man, y'all don't worry about what a pimp does on his off time, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's
We
all I'm
getting
saying,
slack.
bro.
Plans with the TV show.
Hold down.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
bro. C-Dog, my brother, you know I appreciate you, bro. Give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, bro.
And my final thoughts, man. It was a great day. TGIF. Man, I'm very excited for the rookies, man. I'm very excited for Jimmy Horn. I think Jimmy Horn gonna be a fucking dog. You know, like I said about XL. And XL got them on a short motherfucking leash. You know what I'm saying? The damn Morgan put motherfuckers in place out here. You know, if you don't do your goddamn job, you won't be here. You know, so I'm just very excited for the rookie class. I'm just ready for the season to start, man.
Yes, sir. Hear you, brother. And you're right, man. XL he better do his thing this year, man. Bryce better do his thing. XL better catch the ball. Brother, you are not wrong. You know I appreciate you, man. Surfside Steve, you know we appreciate you, man. Happy that we could help you get through your chores. You know, but yeah, man, what are your final thoughts for the free for all, man?
I'm hoping Legette comes out and kicks some good ass. We have to give him some grace. He's a kid who didn't know how to catch the ball. He's got a year of coaching. He's getting older, so he knows what he's doing. And I expect people like him and Tremble, these guys, with these young guys, to come and show a lot of improvement because of our great new coaching staff, I feel.
Yes, sir. Let's have a look at that quarterback.
And one other comment I want to make about the draft and everything. Everybody loves our draft except one CBS jerk who gave us a C minus because we're still playing with Xavier Woods apparently. That's what he said at least. So I guess he's a little behind the sign. Yeah, most of them gave us A's, pluses, but this jerk was a C minus. But the whole division got a C plus at best. So and I love our number one draft choice. He had 1,300 yards 2 years, right? Compared to a certain guy they wanted to draft at number 8 who has promise, who might be a great blocker, who might be a great rusher and the quarterback, but we don't know. But I think 1,300 yards for 2 years is more convincing than that.
Love it. Love it. Appreciate you, man. Great on the show, as always. Next up, Locks, man. You know we appreciate you, bro. Give me your thoughts, your final thoughts for the free-for-all, man. Locks, man, do I got you, bro? All right, welcome. Yeah, he's here. What's up, Locks? Locks, man.
Mr. Shut the hell up.
Go ahead, man.
Well, he unmuted his microphone like he was about to say something.
That's it. That's it. Always blame it on the pickle.
He ended up dropping. All right, appreciate you, Locks.
He can't handle it.
My man from the Black Cat Panther Podcast, Popping Bullets. Pop, it was good to talk to you again, my guy.
It was
Yeah,
good
bro,
talking to y'all as
absolutely.
well. I had a hell of a topic I wanted to bring up earlier. So I guess I'll save it for another time. Damn, that was gonna be a good argument.
But then, how come you waited so long? You should have dropped that thing, man.
Because I was trying to follow behind, you know.
How come you leaving so early, Chop?
Well, I mean, you're right, you know. I guess we all have our excuses, you know.
Cody getting slapped.
Other than
Hey,
that,
bro.
I ain't worried about Xavier Legette. I know that he's gonna have a good season because he got the whole South Carolina mullets on his back. You know, we can't be perfect. Not only that, it sucks that we can't go to see none of these practices. So C3, y'all need to go get that drone and fly that shit over there. So we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that last year.
They're gonna shoot that motherfucker down.
Well, let it get shot down. At least we knew when they you know what I'm saying, they tried. Other than that, man, it's gonna be more and more exciting things to drop. Make sure y'all wherever y'all watch our content, make sure y'all support. Y'all know the 14th is coming. It's next week. And if we have any mothers in here, happy early Mother's Day to y'all.
Yes, sir.
And I hope y'all enjoy it to the best of y'all ability. And other than that, man, keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Man, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Wouldn't be possible without y'all. So that's a big happy Mother's Day from C3 Panther Nation. My man Twan Don from the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Twan, you know I love you, bro. Tell me, or tell them where they can find you, and give me your final thoughts for the show, man.
You can find me at the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, man. Please come subscribe. Did a show early today for 6 hours. Just kicked it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Great show,
have a lot of fun. Yeah.
You're not tired yet, bro? Damn, that's a lot of hours. Bro.
Nah, man. You know when you know. Well, we haven't been live in a minute though, you know. So put a lot of energy to that, you know. I ain't seen Cody in a while, so y'all encourage him to get his ass out in these streets and go to some other shows and sit in. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
You're right.
I don't want to hear that shit.
You're right.
I don't want to hear it. Shout out to Pickle.
Hey man, y'all check out the
But make sure y'all subscribe to C3 Podcast. I mean, I don't need to tell y'all about how wonderful they are, man. And run them up. And please make sure you guys share the content, man. You know, let the people know if you like the show, somebody else will like it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake. Jake, wouldn't be a free for all without you, man. Give me your final thoughts for the show.
Oh man,
Jakey.
another wonderful Friday free for all, man. I love it. Anytime I get on here and I can chat with y'all, we can talk about these subjects and stuff involving the Panthers, man. We might not necessarily already agree to each other, and that's what makes a good argument. That's what makes a good chat, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
I love it. I love being on here with y'all. Love every single one of y'all. Keep pounding, and I'm looking forward to the season, man.
Keep pounding, brother. You know we love you. And shout out to Kyle. Charlotte Sports 1 in the chat. Keep pounding, brother. Thank you for all your effort in the C3 Legion as well. Next up, my man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, brother.
Yeah, I got. Let me just say real quick. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Okay, we got a lot of people that come into the chat every Friday or every Tuesday,
Yes,
and
sir.
if they get a shout out on the little tracker bar, that's wonderful. A lot of them don't get that. They're very loyal, and if you're part of that 200 plus over on Twitter that don't come to the chat, you missing out on something, because the chat's better than what you're seeing on here. So shout out to everybody in the chat. And but there's a lot of folks that hang out to chat with all these podcasts. A lot of them get attention, a lot of them don't. And without those guys, a lot of these podcasters wouldn't be here. So
That's right.
shout out
Absolutely.
The rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
That's what they say, man.
Shout out to the C3 Legion. Sometimes they're the backbone. You know, so a lot of us work all the time. And, you know, D's skills over here works 2 jobs. I work 60 plus hours a week. We still come time to do our thing. Just if we miss a space, y'all, be chill. And let me tell you, there's a lot of younger folks in C3 Legion that could pop them spaces up too. They just don't feel it. So keep pounding.
Get them youngins in order.
Yeah, bro.
Come on
Pickle
now.
said set some people straight, bro.
Yeah, he said get them young whippersnappers. Get in there, man. Do some work for the C3 Legion. But no, hey, man, we all have our own personal lives, and we do this for fun, man. And bro, look, I mean, and listen, I would rather be doing nothing else, but understand, out of every person in all of the Panthers podcast universe, bro, I'm out here, boy. I stream for at least 6 hours all off season and 9 hours every week during the season. Bro, I put in the work and I love to do it, to talk ball with the C3 Legion, man. Y'all are why we do this. And you know we're never gonna ever end the show without giving you the brand ambassador to close out the show on the free-for-all. D's, we appreciate you, brother. Give me your final thoughts for this Friday show, man.
Man, just a great show. You guys did a good job with all the shout outs. I think we covered everything pretty well. The only thing that I know that we missed, besides shout out the chat one more time, because the chat deserves it. They're completely undefeated. They were fantastic on Tuesday. And then once again tonight, they had me rolling. Like, there was a couple times my gut started hurting, man. Those guys they're funny and they're knowledgeable. It's a fun group to be a part of. And I used to talk a lot about the community of the C3 Panthers podcast and come and join in the longest running Panthers podcast community. It's a lot of fun, man. There's guys that's been in the chat for years and years. We just did our draft show. The C3 draft show that I was proud to be a part of. It was the 11th or 12th iteration of it. I mean, just the knowledge of the Panthers flowing through this community is fantastic. And to be part of it is a lot of fun. You can be a part of that here on YouTube for just $1.99 per month. You can become a C3 super fan and be part of this community here at C3, where guys have been around for more than a decade talking about these Carolina Panthers and cheering on this team. And I want to give one more shout out, and that's to C3 JJ. Miss him, man. He's been popping in on the spaces. It seems like his internet has changed a little bit. It's not as stable as what it used to be. But he went on a rant last night in the spaces about Dan Morgan, inspiring me to put this together to end out the show tonight on the Friday free-for-all. We look at this draft that Dan Morgan put together for the Carolina Panthers. Twan said it earlier, possibly the best draft for the Carolina Panthers in history. And I have to think back to that 2003 season, the Cardiac Cats, the guys that nobody thought was going to be in contention, the guys that nobody thought could put things together and go all the way to the Super Bowl, the Cardiac Cats. C3 and Dan Morgan led that team Like JJ said last night, 25 tackles in the Super Bowl, a record-setting event that happened. He led by his will and his strength to carry that team by their bootstraps in a lot of the same ways we saw that last season. In a team that everybody knew was bad, we still found a way to put up some points and put up some wins against some rivals like Atlanta in the last game of the season. And Dan Morgan's building that culture here, and you can see it step by step. C3 is going to cover it on Tuesday at 9 p.m. C3 is going to cover it on Friday at 7 p.m. And you can be a part. You can call in your cat calls on Tuesday. You can call in. You can be on the show on Friday. This is for the fans and by the fans. Dan Morgan is building something special here, and it starts with the culture. And I think in a lot of ways he's played towards the fact that we're trying to save Bryce Young and what we've done to trade up and draft him, what we invested in Bryce Young. He's trying to make that valid going into the future for the Panthers by drafting these wide receivers. And we talked at length about them tonight, but there's a lot of reasons for Panthers fans to be excited about this offense going into next season. Our running game was fantastic. Our bolstered offensive line, fantastic. All top in the league. Not the tippy top, but close. And then this defense as well. The front seven bolstered up, ready to attack next season with Ejiro Evero. It's up to those guys. It's up to that coaching staff what this Panthers team will be. I think there's a lot of reason that we can believe in the offense and believe in the Carolina Panthers putting up some points on the NFC South. But what will this defense do? We'll have to cover each and every move and find out what direction this defense is going. Those guys have a lot to prove to each and every one of us loyal Panthers fans, Cody. And I just thank you for the opportunity to be on the show. And I want to tell all the fans out there to keep pounding, Cody. You know what to do. Let's get up out of here.
Legend, keep pounding.